got it locked on Roadium Radio.
A Roadium mixtape to me was something that was made
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass? I bet. Dr. Dre in the place to be. Co-rockin' shit with my homeboy Steve. After Roadium, get stupid yo. Don't think that you can get none of Dre. The motherfucking doctor, the bitch hopper, the sucker motherfucking stopper. I'm fucked up, so don't mind what I'm saying. I'm just kicking it, but Steve, Tony, A.M., Susan, yo, we be choosing dope shit to put in a mix. Know what I'm saying? We kick shit like and that's a fact. And if your shit ain't in the mix, you know it's whack. And that ain't no bullshit. I'm kicking facts on a serious tip. Word up, Dr. Dre's in full effect doing serious damage, boy.
Tony, hey! Tony, hey! When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 140. And before I introduce my special guest, just a couple of small announcements. Once again, if you want to submit your music, rodiumradio@gmail.com. If you want to submit your music, once again, rodiumradio@gmail.com. And what I ask for is for you guys to submit your music. If you guys have any videos and even a short bio, please submit that. It gives us a little bit more to look at. A lot of times, many of you just submit one song, and it's kind of hard to give you an interview when you just have one song. So if you have a little bit more, if you got a couple of videos and a short bio, please submit that, and we will get to that, and we will contact you back via email. Other than that, once again, for those of you that have been asking about ads, once again, we're going to start playing ads. Once again, go to DOCUMIXERY/ads. DOCUMIXERY/ads. Or you can just go to documixery.com and click on the ads, and it'll give you all the information there. Other than that, once again, Freaky Tales will be back on this Friday. We weren't on last Friday, but this Friday, Freaky Tales will be back on with a special guest. And other than that, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it with today's special guest. And I hope I don't mess up his name, but other than that, please allow me to introduce Lex Lucrative.
What's up, y'all? How's it doing?
Now, I said that right.
Yeah, Lex Lucrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, first of all, thank you for coming through. Was it raining where you live?
Today it was raining. I mean, it didn't rain too much. I was kind of out and about all day, but yeah, around Anaheim, it was raining.
Okay, you know what? Today, first of all, let me say this, and maybe I shouldn't use the word hate, but I hate the damn rain.
Oh,
bro.
man.
I hate the rain, dude.
I mean, I like the rain. I just don't like driving in the rain. But if I could just chill at home, you know, maybe roll a blunt or something and just kick it while it's raining outside, it's kind of cool, you know. But yeah, I hate driving in it. If I have to go anywhere, I'm just like, man, like other people. You gotta watch out for other people. Then you gotta watch out for hydroplaning, all that stuff. I like staying home.
The thing is because when you wear like fresh shoes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man!
And you gotta go out. Even if you drive, you go into the liquor store, go into the market. You could just like mess up all your damn shoes, bro. Your hats and everything. I just hate the damn rain. I hate the rain, the snow, and I hate the cold.
Yeah, man. I'd rather it be summer.
Yeah. I mean, but we're spoiled here, you know, in California. Like I was just in Denver like over the weekend, and it was just too damn cold. And for people over there, it's normal. Like they're cool with it. For me, I feel like my damn chest was about to go in convulsions, man. I can't stand that shit, you know. And I'm just used to Cali weather.
Yeah.
So
we're spoiled over here,
So-
man. You're right.
now over the weekend, I don't know if you saw the fight. Did you watch the Canelo fight?
You know what? I didn't. Yeah, this weekend was pretty busy. I had my kids and stuff, so
Okay.
I was a little occupied. But I wish I was. I wish I would have watched it though.
Well, you're in luck. YouTube put up a bunch of highlights, and it only went to round 4.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, round 4, and I guess the when he went to the corner in round 4, they threw in the towel and said no mas, pretty much. Yeah.
So he gave up.
Yeah, the other guy gave up, but I don't even think he ever gave in, because I watched the fight, and I think they said he threw 7 punches total.
That Canelo got on him. 7 punches.
No, the other guy threw.
Damn.
He didn't really throw in. He just pretty much went in there to cover up, and then the president of, I guess, the WBC belt apologized and said that this guy hadn't fought in 2 years,
Oh man.
and they don't know how he maintained his number 1 spot for the title. So because the fight was booty, man, it was whack as fuck. So for people that paid,
Yeah, I would have been pissed, man. It's a waste of money. But Canelo, he's pretty good though. I've seen some of his videos. He is good at blocking stuff. So I've seen that. He has good balance and stuff.
he's very, very good and very, very strong. He's a powerful puncher. So I would like to see him and Mayweather again. I know when Canelo fought him the first time, if I'm correct, I think he was 22 years old. Now he's 30. So
More experience, probably.
yeah, but at the same time, Mayweather's a little bit older now, so I don't know if it will be the same anymore. But whatever. Are you a sports guy, man?
To be honest, I like to play sports, but as far as watching sports, here and there, usually on the main events, like Super Bowls or things like that. But yeah, not really. I mean, I like to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like to play, man?
Well, when it's me and my boys and stuff, we be playing football. That's probably the best one. I suck at basketball. For some reason I can't aim at other things, but I can't aim at that. I don't know, man. I be missing the rim too much, but football is fun. It gets your mind off things too when you play,
Man, I've always been a tall guy, okay? And I've always sucked at basketball, man. I feel like I got 2 left legs.
That's something we have in common, man.
Yeah, I suck. But now baseball, I can hit the shit out of a ball.
Oh yeah.
And in football, I can hit the shit out of somebody. So I like those 2 sports. But for a long time, it was boxing, football, basketball, baseball, whatever. And now it's just pretty much just football. I love football though. So other than that, man, where originally are you from? Where did you grow up at?
So I actually grew up right there in Pacoima. It's it's out in the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it's not too far from here. It's probably maybe an hour.
Okay. Is that how you know the Principal Coima?
You know what? To be honest, I remember growing up in an elementary and middle school, hearing about him, seeing his music videos and stuff. But actually, he's real cool with my mom and my stepdad. So with that, I actually met him through my mom. So we were hanging out one time at a Dave and Buster's with him, and then I think with Solo, and then some guy from Asia, from Japan. He didn't speak no English, but he was super cool.
Yeah.
And then that's when I met Sleepy, and then he got me into a couple shows and stuff. He's a real cool guy, honestly.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So much love, much respect to Sleepy Malo for plugging us up.
Yeah,
that's dope,
it's
man.
a blessing, man. Thank you.
And so you grew up in Pacoima.
Yeah.
And is that where you're originally from? And where did you move? Where do you live at now? As far as where do you reside, brother?
So as of right now, I live in Anaheim.
Okay.
But I think once I was 12, we kind of moved from Pacoima towards Cudahy, and then kind of lived Cudahy, Bell Gardens, Whittier, and then now that's what got me to Anaheim.
You ever plan on moving back to Pacoima?
As much as I love it, it's just I got too much going on over here. I got my kids. They're out towards this way, so I don't want to be too far from them.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I go down there every now and then. Shout out to my boys over there.
You have a lot of kids, man?
2.
2?
Yeah.
You plan to have any more?
Eventually, when the time's right. When the time's right, meet the right person. I'll probably have another one.
Well, you can practice makes perfect, bro. So just keep
Yeah.
practicing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, practice makes perfect, bro. The good thing about kids is making them. That's the best.
That's the best part, man.
Yeah.
That's the funnest part. And then you gotta
Yeah.
deal with them after.
Exactly, man. You know what? Now let me ask you this, because I know you rap, okay? And I've heard your music, But what type of music did you grow up with, man? Like as a kid, what would be played around your house?
As a kid, my oldest brother actually used to listen to NWA too. So that's how I got into that. So NWA, Bone Thugs, a little bit of underground too, like Immortal Technique, Jedi Mind Tricks. But it was just a mixture of stuff. Zapp and Roger, like my parents, my mom, she listened to everything. So I got a little bit of everything growing up.
You come from a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters?
2 older brothers, and then my little brother right there. And then I got 2 little sisters, but that's my dad, and they're in the valley and stuff. So
Right. That's cool, man. You a mama's boy?
yeah, and I love my mom, man. She pretty much raised us. And,
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good thing, man. I mean, I'm a mama's boy too, but my mom's no longer here. But yeah, man.
sorry.
So,
Yeah, sorry about
yeah, man. Now, other than that, you mentioned like Immortal Technique and a couple of underground rappers. Like, you like underground rap?
I do. I like to listen to West Coast stuff, and then I like to listen to underground. It's just I always like to keep it fresh. You know, there's sometimes I don't even listen to hip hop. I'll listen to reggae, or I'll switch it up. You know, here and there.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this: are you a fan at all of any East Coast rap?
Yeah, you know what? I like 50 Cent. 50 Cent, he keeps it real in a lot of his stuff. I mean, him, and then definitely Jedi Mind Tricks. I think Wu-Tang too. Like they're pretty dope too.
Okay. Now, around what point would you say in your life that what was it that inspired you to start rapping?
My older brother, he started getting into rapping for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I would go to shows with him, and I'll beatbox, and like he would rap and stuff, and then eventually, like, you know, I'll start freestyling here and there, and like I started following like his steps, and then he stopped rapping. So then I kind of you know, once I had my kids, I kind of like slowed down, and then I just jumped right back into it one day, and ever since then, yeah, just going to the studios and making music.
You know, now let me ask you. You mentioned beatboxing.
Oh yeah.
Where did you get that from for you to start beatboxing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because with me, of course, we all know it was the Fat Boys back in the 80s, and a guy named Dougie Fresh. So for you, who was that inspired you to start picking up the mic and beatboxing?
To be honest, so when I was 7, my mom, she bought us instruments, because where we grew up at was kind of like a rough area. And so to try to keep us from like going into like the street life, she bought us instruments, and I learned how to play the drums. So when I was trying to like explain a sound to somebody, like, oh yeah, it sounds like this, I would have to make the sound, and then since then, my brother one day, he was just like, hey bro, why don't you just come and try to beatbox for me? So I was like, all right, for sure. So we did it, and then yeah, people would trip out. We'd be at the shows, and the next, you know, somebody just starts beatboxing. People would be like, oh, what the hell? Like no beat, like nothing, like that's crazy.
You know what? I think, okay, because that's one, if I can say it this way, okay, there's 4 elements to hip hop, okay? And I believe this generation, and I'm just saying this in general, not picking on any specific person, but the 4 elements of hip hop is DJing, MCing, of course, / beatboxing, okay? Dancing or breaking or popping, that's one, you know, and then the other one is, MCing, beatboxing, breakdancing, and graffiti.
Yeah, graffiti.
Okay, those are 4 elements of hip hop. So one thing that I believe is missing from today's music is some of those elements of hip hop. I said that to say this, that I bet you that if you were to start beatboxing again and having somebody bust over you, that's something different that you could bring to your show.
Definitely.
You know, because everybody can play a beat. Anybody can have a beat made. Anybody can download a beat or lease a beat.
Yeah.
But to have just somebody go up there and just start beatboxing and have somebody bust, you know, that'll be the shit right there, man.
Give me some ideas now.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. You know, are you familiar with a rapper named KRS-One?
Yeah, is he the one is he the one that says back in the day? Oh no, that's a mod.
Yeah.
No, I have heard of KRS-One though. Yeah.
KRS-One used to be in a group called Boogie Down Productions. Okay, with a guy named Scott LaRock who passed away. Well, as a kid in the 80s, I always wanted to see him perform. So I remember I went to a place in Hollywood called The Palace. It's off of Hollywood and Vine. Real famous for, I mean, I seen Queen Latifah there, LL Cool J there. I seen a lot of people there. And so what happened was this, that they were saying KRS-One's in the house, so my heart, you know, because that's like my dude, you know?
Yeah.
He went up there and he said they wanted him to bust. De La Soul, a group from the 80s, was, go ahead and do something. So he asked somebody from the audience, does anybody, I need somebody to beatbox because I don't have my music.
Shoot.
So some dude came up and he said, are you good? He said, because I'm not going to have you embarrass me. And he said, yeah. He goes, do you know my songs? And he said, yeah. And he whispered in his ear, I guess he wanted him to beatbox a certain song.
Yeah.
And the dude started beatboxing the song. And he rocked a 3-song show with that dude beatboxing. And the whole audience knew his song. So when you got the whole crowd, about 500-600 people, singing your song over a guy beatboxing, that was the first time and the best experience I ever seen anybody with no music, just beatboxing.
That's real talent.
Yeah, it's real talent, man. And I think sometimes I believe what's missing in today is what you just said right there, real talent. Because today it's so easy for anybody to download a beat and saying, I can rhyme, let me just do it.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
I noticed. Yeah.
So and I think we're in a time of music where music is possibly this rap thing. It's overflooded. It's overcrowded with people who just want to try it instead of the people shining with the real talent.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
No,
So,
yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, that everybody has a dream, everybody has a goal, but there's just sometimes I hear like, man, there's too many people trying it, and then they don't even take it serious, and it's just like it's a hobby to them, but it's like, nah, the music is a lifestyle.
Right. Hip hop is a lifestyle. Rap is something you do. It's funny because in the 70s, I remember this one time, this one guy goes, I'm about to go over here and rap to this fool. That was the first time I ever heard the word rap, and back then it just meant talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go rap to this fool, whatever. But you know what? I grew up on mostly East Coast, because that's East Coast rap, because that's what was coming over. And then when the West Coast blew up, bro, I became a West Coast fan, but I still loved, East Coast music. So now you're a West Coast fan. If I were to ask you to give me your top five, it doesn't have to be in a row, by number, top 5 West Coast albums, what would you say?
Man, as far as albums, definitely gotta go with I believe it's called All Eyes on Me, the Tupac one.
Of course.
That's probably gonna be my number one. I love Tupac. He's lyrical, he's poetic. And then also like man, it's gonna definitely the NWA the album where they're all like, I think they're all like looking down or something.
Yeah, that's
like
the first NWA album. Yeah.
That one, man. That one had Straight Outta Compton in it.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, that one right there. That album right there. Also, man, it's a little harder. So I mean, it's probably easier with songs because like my top 5 favorite songs I could probably think of. But as far as albums, it's a little, I don't know. Yeah, kind of hard on that one.
Okay. Well, what about artists?
Artists. Okay.
Top 5 artists.
Top 5 artists. Definitely has to be NWA. Too Short's one of my favorite ones too. Tupac. And then, so that's Tupac. That's 3 right there. Man, as far as West Coast, man, yeah, I gotta think on that one. It's a little hard. There's so many rappers out here. It's
okay. I want to give you time because I have a question on why you named those rappers. You said Too Short.
Yeah.
You said Tupac. And what was the other one you mentioned? NWA.
NWA, yeah.
Okay, let me just throw some names out there and maybe you can agree. What about like a Game, Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe a Snoop?
Yeah, definitely Snoop. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure Snoop.
Okay, now anybody you want to add? Anybody else?
Snoop, The Game, man. There's so many artists out there. Yeah, it's just
The reason why I ask you that, because I want to know where you're at as far as rap is concerned. Because everybody you named is either 80s/90s.
oh yeah, that's what I grew up on. So I kind of stick to the roots,
Okay. Now, is there anybody out right now that's possibly on the radio that you're digging, like, this is the shit right here?
Man, there is. I mean, I listen to a lot of music that's not really on the radio. But if I were to, like, on my YouTube, if it's cool, I'm gonna put it on my phone real quick.
Look it up.
On my YouTube, the artists that I really been listening to lately would definitely have to be. I mean, of course, you know, OGZ, Filthy Rich, Blue Bucks Clan, like that, like artists like that. Swifty Blue too. Swifty Blue. I fuck with his music heavy.
Well, what is it about Swifty? You know, I interviewed him here.
Oh yeah. With Swifty, I had met him through one of my boys from Paramount, because one time I went to a party and I was gonna rap. I was like maybe like 18 or 17, and my boy ended up later on introducing me to him, and then from there, that's when we kept in contact through Instagram, and then I got a track in with him, spent some time with him at his studio. Cool guy, man. Honestly, like he's a cool guy, real guy.
Yeah, I got the same thing from him, and real cool dude. He actually reached out to me several times. He wanted me to do some music. He was one of the first guys that I interviewed that asked me several times, I want you to do some music for me. I want you to do some music for me. But I don't produce anymore, bro. You know, I'll still fuck around every once in a while, but I don't take it serious.
It never leaves you, right?
Right. You know, now let me ask you this. The reason why I asked about, you know, who are your top 5 or favorite artists is because most of this generation of rappers always refer to the old school heads.
Yeah.
Like, that's who I fuck with, that's who I like. It's hard to get somebody that says and names all the new rappers of today. What do you think, if I had to twist your arm and ask you, what is the difference between some of those rappers you mentioned? Like, for an example, you mentioned like the NWA, the Too Shorts, the Tupacs. What is different about that music that you like so much more than today's music?
To be honest, the way I see it is like this. Music back then, I feel like the streets and what was going on in society, I feel like that had more of an impact on music.
Right.
And I feel like nowadays music kind of has more of an impact on the streets and society. What I mean by that is back then the artists talked about real stuff. They talked about dope, man. You know, like that's real shit right there. Like, you know, Tupac, Brenda had a baby. Like that's some shit that's deep that you don't really hear. Nowadays you're not gonna hear. Nowadays is I got hoes, I got money, I got weed. You know, like and it's just like, okay, you know, that's cool. But then when you have artists like for instance, like Doughboy Tony with his Cultura song, like shit like that, that's real. Like that, I fuck with that shit more like than some of this new shit.
Right. So, why do you think? And I try to understand it. Why do you think that that's all people are rapping about today?
I think honestly because it's something something that people try to relate to, you know, try to have the next best thing. You know, if you see an artist that you like and he has the freshest shirt on, you know, it makes you want to go and get a shirt like that too. Like influence, really. I mean, I think influence has changed, and then the industry. I think the industry's changed too. You know, they're looking for a one hitter, a one hit wonder, and then that's it. You don't really hear too much from that artist anymore. Yeah,
like yourself. Your music to stop. Before we get into your music, because after our break, we're gonna get a little bit into your music. You know, what can people see your music? You know, what can people purchase your music, etc. We'll get to that. But I wanted to ask you, like your music in the 80s and even 90s. If say you were shopping your music to a record executive, back in the day they called that an A&R. You would meet with an A&R. And you would have a meeting, they would play your music, and in front of you, they would ask you questions. And here's one of the questions that they would always ask a lot of people, and a lot of people never knew how to answer it. So now I'm going to ask you, you don't have to answer right away, but it gives you something to think about, okay? Yeah. They would always ask you, what makes you different from the next guys that are walking through that door? Or what makes you different from everybody else right now?
I think what makes me stand out, honestly, is like I don't get involved too much with I would say like I don't really, you know, like I don't get involved too much with like, let's say like rap beef or whatever, stuff like that. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. I just keep it real, honestly. I just be myself. And I mean, if you know, I know myself, you know, like I know I'm different, and as long as I know I'm different and somebody else doesn't see it that way, that's how they see it. But me, I know I'm different. I keep it real, you know, in my songs. I pretty much just spit what I live, you know. That's it. I can't rap no fake shit.
That's good, man. That's good, because I think we see a lot of fake shit out there.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to tell you, that what's going to work for you in the long run is being different. Every group or every rapper that's ever made an impact is because they didn't ride the wave. they decided to go against the grain, and they decided to say, I'm going to be me. So either I'm on the brink of disaster or I'm on the brink of making some history.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make you different and succeed, is always remember to be different. Nobody's ever made an impact by being like everybody else.
Yeah, true.
You know, if you look at leaders in the past, they always, if you will, their names will always live on because they made a difference because they were different. The things that they said, the things that they spoke, and what you said, I just keep it real. I can't be fake. I need to be me.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to work for you. So now let me ask you this. Around what age would you say, by the way, this is our last question before we go to break, but
Okay.
I want you to take your time. Around what age would you say you began to write raps?
Where I began to write raps and take it serious was probably like around, probably like 19. Because before that, it was just all freestyles, you know, spitting here and there, spitting with the homies. But where I actually sat down and started writing and building my writing skills was probably like around 19 or 18.
Oh yeah. So you actually freestyled before?
Yeah, I used to I loved freestyling before, and I was always better at freestyling than writing. But I feel like the more that I just started writing, and I feel like that's changed. You know, my writing's gotten better.
Do you think your writing now outshines your freestyle?
I feel like it does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
Here
you know
and
what? There's people that I've known that can freestyle their asses off, but can't write a song.
Yeah, that was me before.
Okay. And then there's people that can write a song but can't freestyle, and they don't really care to freestyle. You know. Then there's people that do both.
Yeah.
You know. Are you a fan of Eminem?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Eminem. He's hard. Honestly, he was one of the other artists that I grew up listening to. Also.
Okay. Now let me ask you this really quick. Who do you think, if there's somebody, in your opinion, just your opinion, the best to ever do it as far as rap is concerned? Is there one person for you?
Man, as far as skill wise,
Yes.
man, that's hard because there's people like Disaster, there's Eminem, of course, there's that's hard right there. But as far as the lyrics, like I like Lil Wayne too. Lil Wayne has a lot of like punchlines and stuff like that. Yeah, like probably like that. Yeah, like it's between like Lil Wayne, Eminem, and an artist like that. Cause
Okay.
yeah,
The majority of the people that have come here and I've asked them that question, a lot of them would say Eminem.
Eminem's hard, man.
Yeah, see, I'm not a rapper, so I can't give him that title. I could only share with you what other people have said. So,
Yeah.
So yeah. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break. We're gonna come right back and we're gonna finish off right where we left off. Okay.
Okay, cool. Sounds
Okay,
good.
everybody. Make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Lex Lucrative is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't fuck around.
You got it.
Yo, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 140. And we're not going to waste any more time bullshitting, so we're going to go ahead and jump butt naked right back into it with Lex Lucrative. I'm surprised that I'm getting that right.
It's a little tongue twister.
Yeah, okay, now let me ask you this. What inspired that name, man?
So, Lex, the real meaning of Lex is it means law, and then lucrative is to make like a profit. So pretty much the way I live my life is by the law of making a profit. Every day I wake up, I try to make plays and stuff like that, man. So that's just my name is my lifestyle.
Really? And how long did it take you? Was that pretty easy to come up with that?
I mean, I think I had heard lucrative somewhere, but I always liked Lex. So I just put them two and two together. I asked my boys, like, hey, what you think? And they're like, damn, that sounds hard. So for sure, I'm going to stick with it too. I like it.
Well, the name's totally different.
Yeah.
Now, before that name, did you have any other name like rapping Chico or something like that?
When I was beatboxing and all that, I used to go by Focus, like MC Focus. But that was like a while back, man. Yeah, that was way long. That was too long.
now, do you still beatbox?
Yeah, here and there. Sometimes we'll fuck around. We'll start like, busting flows and shit. I'll be beatboxing and shit.
Are you pretty good? Because I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh yeah, now I know I'm good, man. My boys are here can vouch. I'll bust. You want me to bust freestyle?
Bust a beatbox freestyle, homie.
All right.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's definitely some old school shit.
It's a little
there,
rusty right now, but
yeah, it's all right. Just put some chapstick on Carmex. You'll be good.
Some baparoo.
But that's dope. I like that because look, it took me back to my high school days where dudes used to beatbox in the hallways just so dudes can bust a rap or whatever, because that was like the only radio we had at times. You got to make your own music.
Yeah, I bet it was a lot different back then, man.
Yeah, man. So look, before we get into your music, I wanted to ask you a controversial question. Okay, it's not controversial to me, but it's controversial to a lot of people that get offended whenever I bring this up. But I don't give a shit, so I'm gonna bring it up anyways. Do you consider yourself a Chicano rapper?
So with that, I mean, when I think of Chicano rap, I think of where it originated, which was people like, let's say, like Sleepy Malo. Or even my boy Lil Menace too. It started with like Kid Frost, things like that. Their music, that's I feel like that's Chicano rap. I'm just a Chicano that raps, but I wouldn't consider my music to fall under that genre. I would just say my music is just different, really. Okay,
that's good. So is it safe to say you just want to be labeled an artist?
Yeah, just like artist. I don't really follow too much as far as like labeling and stuff, but I'm just a real artist. That's it,
Okay. Now let me ask you this: do you listen at all to Chicano rap?
Here and there. Sometimes I put on Lil Rob Summer Nights. That's the jam right there. Yeah. So sometimes things like that. Here and there.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: see if you can tell me, what is Chicano rap?
Chicano rap. Man, okay, now all right, now I gotta think. I feel like Chicano rap would like Raza, like it's just it's talking about, I would say probably like the people, like the struggle, just things like that. Man, yeah, that's a good question right there, actually.
Okay, and you know what? That question is pretty much what inspired me to do a documentary on Chicano rap.
Yeah.
And I'm just not just going to talk to rappers and just so they can say, yeah, we're on stage, we got bitches. It's about educating the next generation.
Yeah.
With this thing because look at whether people listen to it or not, there's a market out there for it.
Yeah.
Whether people did it right or wrong, we're going to talk about that in there, because I do believe that at one point it started off as something fun, something pure, promoting the culture. And then according to some people, not me, but according to some people that I've already interviewed, they told me that they felt that at one point it came to a standstill, like it didn't continue to go up. And most people that I have interviewed, here's what they said. This was actually the number one answer. Why has Chicano rap never ever took that next step? And when I say that next step, to a Snoop, to a Game, to a Easy, where are those Chicano Kanye West, Chicano Dr. Dre's or whatever? Why aren't they performing at Times Square? That type of shit. So here's what they said. And I have to say, whether I agree with them or not, I need to document this.
Yeah.
So that we as a people can learn and move forward. And they said, many of them have said, because we hate on each other.
That's true. That's true. It's sad to say, you know, I got love for everybody. I've supported everybody. I support a lot of people. You know, I just don't, I can't stand when, you know, I see like other rappers saying like, oh, he ain't Mexican, he ain't this, like in reality, it don't even matter, bro. Like, you know, there's so much rap beef over there over small things, you know, people trying to just make a name for themselves. And it's like, we should be working together though. You know, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you. We just got a lot of people that, you know, for an example, when this podcast first came out, it started doing really, really well, you know, and then for a while, then the haters started coming out. Just a few,
They're
you know. And those are the type of people, believe it or not, you can't allow their negativity to affect you. You got to keep moving forward, whether you're podcasting, whether you're rapping, because you're going to have haters podcasting. You're going to have rappers at rap concerts. You're going to have haters at your job. You're going to have haters at the gym. Maybe even at the strip club. You know?
Oh man, I better not have a hater there.
You know, but you know they're there, and what I've never understood is that if I see you trying to make it, if I see this guy trying to make it, what enters a man's heart to see somebody trying to make it and then say, I can't stand that motherfucker. He's fucking whack. Like I don't understand that mentality. You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just jealousy. You know, they see somebody's doing it and they're not doing it themselves, you know, always just sitting back and criticizing everything, but yet they're not doing nothing themselves. Yeah. So I think it's just a lot of jealousy to begin with. I think that's where it starts at.
You know, I saw a quote one time and I thought it was hilarious. And I'm paraphrasing it, but it said, before or the next time you decide to criticize somebody, realize that you're probably a piece of shit.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would rather, look, whether I like somebody's music or not, if I can help them, I will.
Yeah.
I will. And then people tell me, oh, you're rare. But why does it hurt people so much to want to help somebody else? You know, like, it's not like it's going to dampen my career if I help you. And then there's people, oh, you're trying to help too many people. Why? I want to give people a voice.
Yeah.
That's what this is created for, to give people a voice, you know. But me giving people a voice, people have gotten upset at that, you know. And I don't understand that. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to help, you know. So anyways, switching gears here up a little bit. At what age would you say you began to record your first project?
When I actually recorded my very first song that I recorded, which it was with my boy Jay. He's not here right now, but I was probably like maybe like 18. I went to Little Menace. I don't know if you heard of Little Menace, the Chicano. Well, I went to his father-in-law's house to go record right there in Downey, and then we had a little track going on, but we didn't take it serious. You know, I was still young. And then when I would say when I took it serious, when I started actually like recording and putting it out there, was maybe when I turned 19. I had a job and I linked up with some guy that was rapping too, and he was good at producing. So like we clicked up and we just started recording songs. And then,
okay, now when you started recording, you said when you were about 18. Yeah, they play it back. You listen to it. Did you like what you heard?
Nah, man. If I were to hear it, I don't know where the song is, but if I were to hear it now, I know for sure, like, nah. I can't, man. Right. I know I've grown since then, like a lot.
Right. Well, what do you think it was? Maybe if I can use this word, your rapping wasn't seasoned yet. It wasn't where it needed to be.
I think it's that. It's also getting comfortable, like being in the studio, because sometimes, like once you start hearing your voice on the mic or you have the headphones on, a lot of artists, including myself too, you know, would you know, kind of just freeze up when we're there at the moment to record. And it's like, I think what helps me the most is before I go to the studio and record, I already have the song memorized. That way I don't even need to look at my notes. I could put my whole feeling into the song. Like, I think that's part of what developed me, was actually like learning my songs before I go and record.
That's important. That's important. Today, you know, it's weird because I used to see people with folders, you know,
yeah,
writing, and once in a while they would hold it up like this. Today I see cell phones, that people are rapping the cell phones, okay, because you know the lyrics are on the notes.
Yeah,
all that's cool. The way I would work is that, look, I'm not going to have you hold that up. Go home, memorize your lyrics.
Yeah.
Then when you come back, Now you got emphasis on your lyrics. Now your delivery comes out a little bit better.
The delivery.
The delivery. And I'll tell you one guy that comes off the top, bro, that, I mean, he was only 24 years old when he passed away. But listen to his delivery. Look at Tupac.
Oh man, Tupac, he put so much emotion into his stuff. Like that's, you know, for sure he took time on writing it, choosing his lyrics carefully. Like, man, yeah, Tupac.
Yeah. And you know why a lot of people can relate? Because he spoke from right here.
Yeah.
You know, today we just have guys that are just speaking from right here. This is, you know, this is going to be the new summer anthem. This is going to be the new strip club banger or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I've learned is this, that none of us here can call what the next hit is. We can't. We can say that, but it's the people out there. When I say out there, the public that are going to call the next summer anthem, that are going to call the next hit. You know, we can make a beat and say, this shit's a fucking banger. This shit's the banger. And the song that we probably care less about, people might be feeling that one. And now we're scratching our heads thinking like, why? Because it's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people, bro. So, but yeah, you know, that's the way it works. For an example, and I gave this plenty of times, when NWA had 3 singles, had 3 songs on a 12-inch, you know, what we would call a single cassette. They had a song called LA is the Place, Fat Girl on My Jock, and then Boys in the Hood. They thought LA is the Place and Fat Girl on My Jock was their hits.
Oh, no, Boys in the Hood is definitely, that's a hit, man.
And you know who helped shine light on that was the man I was telling you earlier, this man, Steve Yano. He would tell Dre at the swap meet, listen to what the people want to hear. He would play LA is the Place, no reaction. He would play Fat Girl on My Jock, no reaction. But when he played Boys in the Hood, people started flocking. Who's that? Who's that? They were now telling Dre what the hit was, bro. So they decided this is where we got to go. So find your sound, find your niche, and then feed the people what they want from you. You know? So that's what you got to do. And I pass that knowledge along to a lot of people, and I've been fortunate and blessed to have been in the studio with those guys, so I learned a little bit. Not that doesn't make me better. I just learned, and I pass that along to other people. Be different, be yourself, and once you find your audience, your crowd, and what they like of you, do it.
Yeah.
You know, do it. So now, you had a project out. You said it came out 2019, if I'm correct?
Yeah,
okay.
2019.
Is that available today still?
It is on Spotify. It's also on SoundCloud. I have some songs up on YouTube also from there.
And what's the name of the EP?
That one's called Rich Shit.
Rich Shit?
Yeah, Rich Shit.
Okay. Okay. And what inspired that name?
Cause honestly, like, well, like when you listen to the lyrics and some of the songs, I have a song actually called Rich Shit. And pretty much like the things I do daily, like I just feel like my life, like I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with myself. Like, being like that, that's some rich shit right there, you know. When I'm able to go out to eat and do whatever I want, pretty much, like it, like my life is good, man, and that's what inspired me. Like,
okay, and how many songs total were on that?
It's about 8, I believe, 8 or 7.
Okay, 8. Which song out of all those stand out to you the most, or would you say my favorite?
To me, I think this song called Hella Dope. And it's just because that song is just like a West Coast beat. I went off lyrical on that one. I put feeling into that one. It's either between that one or it's between Maintain, because Maintain, that one has Doughboy Tony on it too, and that one's fire too.
Yeah, much respect to Doughboy Tony.
Yeah, shout out Doughboy Tony.
That's dope, man. Now, who produced that EP for you?
So it was some guy that I actually used to work with out in Whittier, but we had a little fallout and stuff. So. But yeah, I won't say his name or anything, but yeah, he some guy on in Whittier. I used to work with.
And he produced everything for you on that one?
Yeah, pretty much. Just not the beats. The beats are kind of like, you know, at least some beats here and there, but he did all like the producing, all the editing, mixing.
Okay. And now, as far as visuals, did you have any visuals out there that people may see?
Not from that EP. People like my boys are always telling me like, yo, you should go back and make a visual to this song. Like this song is like, you know, especially to Hella Dope. Like it's a West Coast beat. So, and then now, I mean, I got my little brother here, so he does all my videos and stuff. So now it's a little bit easier, you know, because the videos they get costly. So now I have him, so I could actually go back and do that.
Okay, and he shoots it, and edits it, and everything.
All of that. This guy will spend like 4 hours just on the computer. I'm like, man, take a break, bro. You know,
that's good, man. I'm glad you have somebody like that, because sometimes when you have to go out and get somebody, and a lot of times, especially if they're really busy and you want it back soon, they do kind of like a quick job, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't, you know, like I know a couple of guys that film like 4 or 5 videos a week, okay? But they edit them so fast that by the time the artist gets it back, it's not all that.
Yeah.
You know, and then sometimes I wonder, was it really worth paying him all that money? And it wasn't even all that, just because he has a somewhat of a name.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot to do with clout, I think too. You know, so a lot of people, they'll go to somebody that has a bunch of following, but then when you get the work back, it's not really what you expected. You know,
Right.
but with him, my little bro, like honestly, I'm happy because, well, first off, he's my brother. You know, so he's gonna hook me up and stuff, and then not only that, but he puts in his all into it. So I'm like, when I see the videos, I know like there's certain times where we were shooting a video and the spot wasn't really as cracking, you know, it's just us just right there kicking it, smoking some blunts, whatever. But like the way he made it look, it was just like, it made it just look like there was a whole bunch of other shit going on. And I was like, man, dude, that's crazy. You took the video from here to here, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
this visuals.
Do you have your own YouTube page?
I do. Yeah, it's at Lex Lucrative.
Okay, Lex Lucrative. That's just it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know your Instagram has been going up, so people can follow you there, and even after the video is posted, your Instagram will be on the description, so people want to look you up as well.
Okay.
Now, what are you working on now that people can expect 2021 from you?
So right now I have like maybe about another 7 unreleased songs. They're just sitting there, you know, they're in the cut. So that's pretty much what I have right now. I just need to finish a couple of things on them, and then from that I'll probably be dropping like a 7-song EP. Probably aiming for summer. That way, you know, get it ready for summer. Okay.
Now, are any visuals on those?
I'm definitely gonna have visuals. I don't have any out or recorded as of yet. But what I'm gonna do is, before releasing any of these songs, I'm gonna release the visuals probably first, and then and then after that.
Who's gonna be producing this record for you?
So it's a couple of different spots. I had some songs already recorded by my boy at Long Beach Certified, and then I have another guy in the studio at the spot downtown LA. So that's where I've been at recently. So it's kind of between those two.
Okay, that's dope, man. And now I'm gonna ask you a weird question, okay? And I don't want to put you on the spot. If you want to say next question, tell me. Do you write all your own stuff?
Yeah, all my own stuff I wrote. Yeah, I don't have no ghostwriter or nothing like that. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, when you listen to my songs, it's me. Like, I wrote my own lyrics. That's just the life I live. So that's the stuff I write about.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this: do you know any rappers out there that have ghostwriters?
Not necessarily. I mean, I know rappers that ghostwrite for other people, but yeah, I don't know anybody that's ever told me like, oh yeah, I had someone to write the song for me. I would tell them like, man, like that's weird, man.
Now, if somebody offered you the right money, would you ghostwrite for anybody?
If the money's there, yeah, why not? You know, I would just ask them a couple questions like, okay, so like, you know, tell me about yourself. That way I could kind of understand like, okay, so when I start writing, I'm gonna put myself in your shoes and help you out like that. You know, but I would, yeah, if somebody offered me money, I would do it.
Okay. Now let me ask you, how far you want to go with this? Like, do you want to make a living off of this, or is this just a hobby? Is this just something you just want to do meanwhile?
So music, eventually I want to try to get into producing myself.
Okay.
I mean, music, it never leaves you, you know, wherever you go, like, you know, I'll probably be that guy that's like maybe the 50, still busting a freestyle here and there, fucking around with my brothers and shit. But
beatboxing.
But yeah, I definitely want to get into producing. And then along with that, just meeting so many connections, you know, definitely want to start dropping merch and dropping other things like that, you know, getting into other business. But it's been a blessing being able to have so many doors opened up and meet so many new people.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, and I pretty much already know the answer, but I need to ask you. So far, being in this rap game, have you experienced any hate?
A lot, man, a lot. It's just like I said, I don't get involved in it because I got too much going on in my own life. So when somebody starts hating on me, it's just like, all right, you know, like, cool, man, you do you, I'll do me. I'm not really tripping off of it. I got too much going on. You don't pay my bills, you know, so I'm not, you know, you ain't taking care of my kids. So, and it's music. So it's like, why are we going to beef over music, you know, like.
Yeah. Like, I never understood that, but like, what are some of the things that they would be saying? You suck, your music's whack, you're terrible, get a job.
Yeah, all of that. Honestly, like, you know, when people post it, especially like on like, you know, like Latin Beach TV, you know, some people, oh, don't quit your day jobs and all that stuff. Like, stuff, you're always going to get hate because I've come to understand though that some people might not like your music, you know, but then you're gonna have other people that are like, yo, your shit's fire, like
Yeah.
we need more shit like this, like. So I kind of the understanding. That's why I don't trip off haters. I see the comments, but I don't even.
And usually the people that are haters have fake profiles. Or
Yeah, man.
yeah.
What's up with that?
They're scared.
Why? Like, I be seeing that all the time. Like they'll have like
Private
one follower.
accounts.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have a picture of Donald Trump or something like that, and they'll just want to say they follow nobody. Nobody follows them. You suck. You're terrible.
Yeah, I've noticed that,
You
man.
know.
That's crazy.
I mean, why they do that? I don't know, but it's going to be there. It's going to be there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you know what? Fuck them.
Exactly. At the end of the day. fuck
Yeah.
'em.
So now, other than that, now let me ask you this. So you got something dropping in 2021. You said around summer.
Yeah, around summer.
You want to? Your brother does the videos. That's awesome. You guys have your own. You're gonna have visuals.
Yeah.
Try to do as much as visuals as you can, and I'll tell you why. Because especially since you have your brother here, my thing is this. I had this conversation with a guy here not too long ago that there were songs that I've listened to. I didn't like them. I didn't think they were whack. I just wasn't feeling them, you know?
Yeah.
I knew other people liked them, but I wasn't hearing what they were hearing, okay? And I said, I don't think the guy's whack. I'm not feeling that song.
Yeah.
You don't feel it? No. But I'll tell you what won me over. And this is the God's honest truth. When I saw the visual, when I saw the video, bro, I was like, I get it now.
They can do that because honestly, along with the talent, like, and along with the music, is also the image. People want to see, they
Yes.
want to see what you're rapping about. Like, if you're gonna rap about having nice cars and having money, all that stuff, you better be putting visuals out like that too. People want to see that shit.
Yeah.
They do.
I'll give you another way that how you, not only through interviews, not only through visuals, how you can gain supporters or fans, if you will, that will support you. Even though E40 was already big, okay, I never was a fan of E40.
Yeah,
I couldn't feel his music. I didn't get his lingo. I didn't understand it. I looked at his videos, still couldn't get into it. But I'm gonna tell you how he won me over. We did a show, and I want to say shit. It was probably like 2006. We did a show, and that song. Remember that song? Tell me where to go. Tell me where.
yeah.
Okay. He had just dropped that record, and he performed after us. And I said to myself, I'm gonna go see him perform. I wanna see what it is that people like about this guy.
Yeah.
And I saw him perform, man. And let me tell you something. He gained a fan in me, bro.
Also, his performance skills.
Yes, dude. Because his music was at first wasn't catching me over the radio. It wasn't his video. So I wanted to see, like, what is it? I said that to say this. Even if you have 20 people, 15 people, 50 people, whenever you perform, go out there and rock it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because you never know who's going to be out there in that crowd.
Yeah.
You never know. Give it your best. Give it your all. Don't ever think like, you know what? Oh, fuck it. Ain't nobody here. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go out there, do the songs and get the fuck out of here. No, dude. Because people will remember you. I've DJed for legends without mentioning their names. And they expected a sold out house of maybe like 600 people at like a House of Blues. And maybe because they only got like 200 people, they were upset. But I remember telling him, those 200 people paid. We got to go up, nah, fuck them or whatever. We did a show the next day on social media. His fucking name was blasted, bro. Like, fuck that dude. He's a fucking lame and he's this, he's that. And his mentality was, I don't give a fuck. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Lose a lot of money, a lot of fans, all that.
I mean, even if one person walks up to you and says, man, I love your shit, man. I love the way, you went up there and you rapped and I saw you on YouTube and now I get to meet you. That one fan could make your whole night, dude.
Yeah.
So even if you got to gain a fan one by one, those are your fans. Take care of them, and give them what they expect from you.
Yeah, on that, I mean, back, 2019, before the pandemic and all that stuff, we were doing shows, man, at least like twice a week. Sometimes they double booked us for 2 different cities and we couldn't make both. We were just getting booked a lot, even out in Vegas. And I remember one time somebody came up to me and he told me, he goes, man, bro, I love your energy. And that kept me going, like, man, like, because when I get on stage, it's like, you kind of just forget about everything else, all of your problems that are going on outside of there. And yeah, like you say, you know, you give that shit your best shot, and it's fun, man.
Yes,
it's
it is.
really fun.
It is. With that being said, we've come to the end of our interview. So I wanted to ask you, was there anything that I didn't ask you, anything you want to promote, anything else you want to share? Before you give your shout outs, right now is the time, bro.
I actually got my clothing line, Plug Fit. We have some new designs that are going to be dropping. So I know that shit's going to be dropping probably within the next month or two. But if you guys want to follow on Instagram, it's at the Plug Fit Co. And so yeah, I got that. And then also too, be on the lookout for my EP coming out this summer.
Okay, cool. Shout out to anybody?
Shout out my brother K Schultz, my boy, my cousin Mikey, all my cousins. Shout out Prince of the P. For sure, that's 100%, man. Love you, bro. Thank you. And then shout out all my people in Pacoima out there. And yeah, appreciate you.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Okay, everybody. And I appreciate you for coming through, giving me a dope interview, man. I love your energy. and I just wish you nothing but the best, man.
Appreciate that,
okay,
man. Thank you.
I truly do. So, okay, everybody. You know who just walked in, man?
Who?
Piez.
Piez, hey, what's up, man? Where you at?
He just walked in. He's in the motherfucking building. He's got a little drink. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't fuck around. So make sure you call somebody, text somebody. You know the rest. We'll see you back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 140. And I'm glad you guys are back. Hopefully, you guys get something to eat. It's about to get really fucking good. And with that being said, let me just go ahead and introduce my next special guest, none other than Piez. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. You know what I mean? Bless my G, you know, another day.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I made it on the wake-up call today with the homie big, you know what I mean, JC, so.
Yeah. You know what? Let me ask you something real quick, man. What are you drinking?
Hennessy and Cherry Coke.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah, it's really good. You know what I mean?
I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, I'm told I got to stay in character, so. I showed up to the studio, you know what I mean, I don't know, a couple months ago. Yes, my boy, my driver, my security. And I was recording with the Avila brothers. Next thing I know, I put up sober. Next thing I know, he's out the they sent him out the building. They're calling me, come in. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, don't ever show up out of character again. You know what I mean? Like, bring your Henny, smoke your roll. You know what I mean? Because that's you. You know what I mean? It ain't like I'm sloppy or, you know what I mean, offend that whole about it. You know what I mean? You get, as an artist, you know what I mean? When you find yourself, you know what I mean, your comfortable zone, that's what it's about.
That's right. Yeah, you know, I know it's Wednesday, brother, but how was your weekend like, man? How did you spend your weekend?
Weekend was cool. I had a show Sunday, actually.
Really?
Yeah, at the Smokers, it was a Smokers Lounge. Yeah, Smokers Lounge right there in LA. And the crazy thing is, when I pulled up, whenever they gave me the address, because everything's like on the down low right now with the COVID and everything.
Right.
When he shot me the address, I told my driver too. I was like, "What the fuck, man? This is the address for where we did the photo shoot, which was downtown LA. You know what I mean, Hollywood area right there. Which it was a sick ass studio, but they had a whole, you know, all these cannabis festivals, man, they're blowing up. You know what I mean? So there was like 2,000 people. There was packed out. They told us we couldn't smoke whenever we were sitting there taking photos, but these motherfuckers had dispensaries and everything inside. And then you walk outside and the big ass stage. I was like, what the? But it was just a trip though. You know what I mean? Like, what a coincidence, you know. But the weekend was amazing, man. You know what I mean? Friday, Saturday, I got to spend it with the family. I got a wife, 5 kids, 2 dogs, had a goat. You know
Wait, and a goat?
We had a pinche chivo, yeah.
Oh, chivo. So you like birria then?
Yeah, no, we didn't cook it. The people we sold it to, they were supposed to keep it. They ended up selling some, they cooked it.
No shit.
We didn't tell my kids it though, man. My kids would you know what I mean?
Right.
Real shit.
That's dope, man. So how did the show go? Like, when you perform, like, how many songs did you end up doing that day?
You know what? A lot of these, like, unless you're the headliner, it's usually like, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. I did a cool 8-minute set. I did 3 of my newer songs that are completely unreleased that are produced by the Avila brothers.
A Roadium mixtape to me was something that was made
if I was a
just for the Roadium. You wouldn't hear it any.
Give it more bread, you know. So.
Right.
A Roadium mixtape to me was something.
I'm glad that your how would you say? Hold on one second. Are we having technical difficulty? Yeah, no, we're good. Okay. All right, thank you. A lot. I always encourage people that if you have new stuff, you know, just go ahead and perform it and kind of test the waters to see how people react.
Yeah.
How did people react to your new stuff?
It blew. Honestly, I'll be real. It blew everybody's fucking mind because the route and direction that I'm going now, I finally found my lane. You know what I mean? And like I said, I linked up with the Avila brothers and. I ain't allowed to release it yet, but he told me go ahead and perform a couple of them. And man, the crowd is just, because it's so diverse. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had like a super dope, it's like a super dope trap, I don't know, club song. And then I had like a ladies cut come in and then like a red carpet treatment. That's the last song. You know what I mean? Like it was just all good vibes, especially everybody smoking weed and everything, man. The whole place was rocking it. I wasn't even the headliner, you know what I mean?
Right. So that's dope to hear that at least, even though it might be low key, that the shows are still going on.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, man, because wow, we've been locked up too damn long, man.
It's been way too long, man. You know what I mean? Like, and the crazy thing is, 5 days before COVID hit, when they did the official lockdown, I think it was like March 19th, 20th. Of 2020, whenever they did the thing,
right?
I got off. I was on house arrest for 5 months. So I was already on my own little quarantine.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then 5 days free. I actually have a song about it. It's called Quarantine with my producer BZ on the beat. But 5 days free, and then this shit hit. I was like, you gotta be. And then all my boys had jokes to make about it. Everybody knew, hey, they were sitting there and shit. You know what I mean? Like, man. So it was, you know, and it was actually, you know, a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly, because I had a lot of time at home, spent with my family. You know, it's rough and a wild journey when you have 5 kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, we went through the ups and downs. We all grew a lot closer, you know. And actually, my music got a hell of a lot better. I was able to invest more time in that with the help of the family complying together.
Yeah,
You know, so it was a beautiful thing, man.
You know, I just saw today that Texas is going to be, I guess, I forgot what date they gave, where they're just going to do away with the mask now.
Yeah.
Yeah, today I just saw that. Now I know Florida, even during fucking COVID, you could eat inside and outside, no mask, no whatever. I think the only time that they require you to wear a mask was when you walked into the market, if I'm correct.
Well, man, you know what I mean? Because being in the industry, I talk to other artists and everything in different states, all across, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
Internationally, you know what I mean? But a couple of my boys in Florida, they're like, man, the strip clubs are open 24 hours, no mask, everything. I'm like, fuck.
Damn.
And we're over here like this, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
people are finally getting fed up and tired with it, man. You know what I mean? Like the government, just everything that went on, man, that shit was superficial. This is definitely a year in the books, you know what I mean? And it was a rough one, you know, a lot of losses, a lot of just nonsense, you know, but that's the fucked up government, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I said, the government's not prescribing weed when they were giving everybody fucking Oxycontins, Percocets. Oh, all of a sudden now you want to get prescribed this shit. You know, it's a fucked up world we live in, cold world.
It is, man. And you know what's funny? Because at the gym that I attend, you have to wear a mask, okay? And I'll be
That's
real
insane,
with you.
working out with a mask.
Oh, dude, like, I take off my motherfucking mask just so I can fucking breathe, like, after a set. You got to put on your, hey, dude, I can't fucking breathe, homie. Like, I can't breathe, seriously. I'm doing bench press, and I'm like, it's tough, man. It's really, really tough, but I'm glad that Texas is saying, you know what, we're going to do away with the mask or whatever. And you know what, my condolences and prayers to the families that lost loved ones because of COVID.
Yeah, real. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Rest in peace. Shout out to everybody. Keep your heads up. Stay strong, man. You know what I mean? Said it ain't everybody's. You know what I mean? Hurting. You know what I mean? Like it's a fucked up thing. It's almost like, you know what I mean? We didn't live through it, but like whenever they had, what was it? The Cold War, the Great Depression, shit like that. You know? And these are times that we live through. You know, but what don't break you only makes you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Only the strong survive. You know, you survived. Let's get it. But for real, I want to give a shout out to my condolences to all the families that, you know what I mean, lost loved ones. You know, I lost, man, one of my best boys this year. It was a rough one, you know. But you know, they're here in spirit with us. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All good, man. You know, now, let me ask you, where originally are you from? Like, where did you grow up at?
Colton, California, man. You know what I mean? But I've been all over. You know, my mom, we lived in Texas for a little bit. I'm mainly based out here, but, you know, I lived in Texas for a little bit. Man.
What part of Texas?
It's crazy, too. 30 miles south of Dallas, and it's Ellis, or Ennis County. Okay, it looks like Waxahachie, but it's Waxahachie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And if you ever been to Texas, it's crazy because I remember being young, coming back from Texas, you know, because my mom was out there. We go to visit our dad in the summer, you know what I mean, summer vacation, and they had pogs out here. They didn't have pogs in Texas yet. Well, like 3 months later, then pogs are popping in Texas. So it goes to show you, like, Cali, man, hey, we're so advanced and so ahead of times, you know what I mean, where other states moving this way. I'm sure the East Coast I've been in New York, it's popping too. You know what I mean? So the more you go in, like the slower things go, it's more slower life, which I like Texas, you know what I mean?
I like Texas too. Yeah. I toured Texas, a lot of Texas in 91, 92, where there was Corpus, Houston, Tyler, Beaumont, Fort Worth, whatever. You know, we went through all over Texas.
You said Corpus Christi?
Yes.
You know what's crazy too, because my mom, you know what I mean, which I thank her for everything, man. She's the woman that made me the man I am today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But we actually stayed at that time when Selena, was killed. So we drove 2 hours from where we were to go to her gravesite when that was all happening, to go to the hotel when people were all standing out there to go to her house. You know what I mean? And it was a trip. You know what I mean? Like that was a trip, seeing something like that. That's the first time I've, you know what I mean, seen like a celebrity, because she was still up and coming then. She didn't even get a hit or a peak, you know what I mean?
Right.
And my mom was such a diehard fan, and living out there in Texas at the time, shit, man, what was that, like 95, 96?
Yeah,
something like that.
Around, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and that's right before I came back out to Cali. But man, that was a trip. I always remember that, you know what I mean, because Selena has been such a big part of the Chicano culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was never really a singer like her that, you know what I mean, was taken off. And not only that, she's an amazing, beautiful woman. Not only her physical, but emotionally and just inside, you know. Amazing woman, man, you know. And it just goes to show you, one day you're here, the next day you're gone, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and there she was, English and, Spanish and in English.
She didn't know Spanish, though.
Right.
She only knew English. She learned how to sing in Spanish.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She was a songwriter. I believe it was, if it wasn't her brother, Little A.B., or it was her dad, one of them were writing it. I believe it was her brother. You know what I mean? But that's a trip, though, man, to be able to, you don't speak Spanish, but you could really get it out and make everybody feel it. You know?
Yeah, that's dope. I guess that's a talent within itself, huh?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a real deal performer right there. You know,
Yeah.
like a singer performer.
So now let me ask you this: raising Colton, when and where were you first introduced? Well, how old were you when you introduced to rap, man?
Shit, man. I remember back living in because we moved to Texas. We were about 5 years old. And I remember hearing, give me a girl with the Daisy Duke soul. Oh, buddy, look at the girls with the Daisy Duke soul. That's when everything, but then there was Jewel of the Nile, you know what I mean? That's when DJ Quick was coming up, you know what I mean? And then my mom bought me the Regulators tape, but it was edited, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Man, and that's a classic right there, you know what I mean? Like, and ever since then, I've always loved it, you know? I never thought about doing music, you know, because I didn't know how it was done. But,
Right. Okay. So that was your first, pretty much your introduction to
yeah, and I loved it ever since then. I listen, you know what I mean? MC Hammer, all that stuff too. You know what I mean? Hey.
We all did, bro.
Yeah, all that. You know what I mean? It was dope growing up in the 80s. You know what I mean? The 80s. It was man, classic. I always remember.
You know what's funny? A lot of people would mock and laugh at Hammer, Vanilla Ice, Young MC for You Can't Touch This, Ice Ice Baby, and Bust a Move. So people would laugh at that and say, "Oh, those were radio jingles, and those were terrible songs." Hey, somebody bought them 25 million records.
Oh yeah.
So we can laugh about it now, but back then that shit was banging.
Well, look how shit's evolving too, though. You see motherfuckers in the craziest get downs. You know what I mean? It's like the hell. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because even my daughter, she's 17. You know what I mean? Now they're all big into Champion. Remember Champion? Whenever that was big, whenever it's growing up, Fila, all that.
Yeah.
That shit soon moved its way into Ross. Right? Do you remember Ross shoe stores?
Right.
Okay. Or was it Ross shoes? Or no, Payless.
Payless.
Yeah, but it'd be in Ross too. You know what I mean? And all that, and it wasn't popular. Now all of a sudden, it's not in. Well, Payless ain't around no more. But you know what I mean? Like they don't even sell this shit in there. Now it's back up to high dollar. I'm like, what the? You know what I mean? It's funny though. It's crazy how things evolve though.
Yes, it's funny because all it takes is maybe one celebrity to wear the Skechers, and now Skechers is in. Mm-hmm. It's funny. My brother shared with me something that he goes, all you got to get is somebody popular to wear some bullshit, and everybody will start wearing bullshit. He said he was in high school and he was a part of a class project where they picked one of the most popular jocks in the school. He was the quarterback of the football team. So they asked him, "Hey man, we want to do an experiment. We want you to wear a sailor's hat." And he was like, "A sailor's hat?" And he goes, "Yes." He said, "A sailor's hat. We're trying to see if we can create a style. It's a project." They ended up talking him into it. Said, "Okay, what else you want me to wear?" "No, just a regular sailor's hat, but wear it every day for 1 week." So he was the stud quarterback. So guess what? After that, after he stopped wearing it a week, everybody started coming to school with a sailor's hats.
Yep.
And
that's how a trend starts that quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
it's a trip.
how do you think skinny jeans started?
Fuck. Maybe someone trying to, you know what I mean, being funny one night. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box. Maybe somebody being funny one night, trying their highness pants on or something. I don't know. You won't catch me, you know. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Hey, I'm not racist. I'm not. You know what I mean?
You're not hating on it.
I don't hate on anybody. To each hold their song, but
Right.
you won't catch me nothing like that. My wife, I remember. You know what I mean? So I've been slacking on my workout program, but I was throwing a 365 on the bench, squatting 405. That was like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? But before that, like even a lot of the homies right there from COMPTON, you know what I mean? I was saying nothing sweeter than a Hannah Streeter. So we're always clean, dressed up, fresh, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
Or some of them, after going to prison, coming out, hey, let's get this clean white boy look. You know what I mean? We go party in Redlands, and there you'd have the True Religions with the Affliction. You know what I mean? So my wife's like, because some of her primos everywhere, and she's like, you should. So she bought me some of it every once in a while. Where we go out, I'm like, I feel weird, but you know what I mean? But hey, you looking fresh as fuck, but it wasn't ever tight. It was just clean. You know what I mean? Clean
Right.
fitted. You know what I mean? You dress in the occasion or whatever. So.
You know, I'm going to ask you something that maybe some guys out there, you know, use, and I'm not making fun, but I want to ask you because I believe we're from the
sir.
same old school. What do you think about guys that walk around with purses?
Purses, that's weird.
I've seen it a lot.
It's weird. Yeah, I'm not with that. With all due respect, you know what I mean. To everybody, I do have a little tiny Gucci backpack, but that's my studio bag. You know what I mean?
Right,
It
right.
holds my, you know what I mean, my chargers, my glasses case. You know what I mean? My yes guy. You know, everything that I need to go to the studio. You know,
Yeah.
but you will not catch me rocking no damn fucking purse. Like get a backpack or get even one of the they have like the nice one strap Louis Vuittons that go over or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like get something like that. But to be rocking a purse, bro, like America's fucked up today. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you know what? Like I've been so damn busy lately, so I don't really watch the news. So I wonder if this goes on worldwide.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Wearing this because you know what? Purses were designed for women. You know what I mean? And if that's the route you swing, whatever, that's cool. But regular dudes wearing a purse, it's like, come on, bro. Let your Hino rock that. You know what I mean? Get her the nice bag, homie. We just blowing money on yourself for that for. You know what I mean? For real though.
No, for real,
You know?
you're right.
With all respect to anybody, I ain't trying to hurt anyone's feelings or
Right,
piss anybody
right.
off. You know. So
Okay. One time I asked somebody, I said, hey man, because he walked in with a purse. And I said, did you come by yourself? And he said like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I thought your lady came with you because you had a purse. And he said, no, that's mine. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, you really rock a purse? And he got a little offended. And he said, well, what's wrong? What's the difference between this and a backpack?
a backpack goes on your back, and this is a handbag that's meant for highness.
Right. So
Because those handbags have fucking makeup pouches, like
Right.
I buy my wife this shit, you know what I mean? And like I want to know what her mom like. Oh yeah. And she has. Oh my goodness, babe. Like I love these extra this and blah, blah, blah. Where my Gucci backpack, yeah, it's little and shit. You know what I mean? It fits on the back, but it has. You open it, it has one little fucking back pocket where I put my blunt wraps. We goes right here in the front pocket where I put my, you know what I mean? Chapstick, clear eyes, you know, fucking lighter, the essentials, homie. You know what I mean? Just being real though, you know. So
no, hey, I feel you on that one. 10 years ago, okay, because I post up a lot of memes. Okay,
Yeah.
I love funny shit. I love funny shit. I like,
that's good shit. Hey, life's too short. If you can't laugh, you can't live.
yeah, exactly.
You feel me?
So what happened was this. I saw a meme. I ran across it on Facebook like 10 years ago, and it had a bunch of like white men. It looked like they were like in the White House, and a bunch of white men laughing, like drinking and laughing. And the caption said something like, "We'll switch the music, and eventually we'll have them in dresses and wearing purses." That's what it was. And then I remember the first guy that I could remember was Young Thug. Remember he came out with that dress.
Man. Yeah, that's like I said, it's weird, man, the way things have evolved, you know, and that's the reason why a lot of these dudes like You know what I mean? With all respect, I ain't no hater. Of
course.
The music industry is honestly the toughest thing you could ever do in your life, and you're gonna deal with being talked to negative. No. You know what I mean? All that. But when you're sitting here like wearing shit like that, it's like, what the fuck are you on, homie? Like, no, for real though. You know what I mean? Like that. I understand motherfuckers like want to be into fashion and be like that, but wearing fucking highness clothes, like, when has that ever been accepted? And it shouldn't be accepted. Like, people are so worried about all this other bullshit going on. You know what I mean? But it's like, man, bro, like, there's parents sending their kids and their son. They have a son, but the son dressed like a hyena to elementary school. It's like this. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just it's off the chain. I don't get it. Yeah, and I mean, and then the sad thing is that today. It's almost we can't say anything because we would be called something, and I don't want to use that word. Oh yeah, you're gonna get called some type of hate crime or something. And it's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? I know not everybody believes in God, but like, if you read the Bible, like, there's got to be morals and standards. Right. You know what I mean? Like, the boys are boys and the girls are girls. That's why the bathrooms are separated. Right. And to be quite honest with you, that what you just said to someone may sound like hate speech. Oh yeah, and I apologize if I offended anybody. I'm just being real though. You know? No, you're being real. You know what? And before we switch gears, Eddie Murphy had made a comment where he was saying that he was sorry for some of the jokes that he did when he did a concert called Delirious. Yeah. Like, he did it in the 80s, but he apologized now because years later, that's offensive. It was comedy. Yeah, it was comedy, but that's how crazy things have gotten. Like I said, like, I don't mean to offend anybody because each has its own. I don't care what you do behind your closed doors, but as respect to everybody else, keep your stuff to yourself. Just like they want, you know what I mean? I can't go I'm not going to go smoking weed in front of a bunch of fucking kids when I go to the beach or something. No. I'll stay in my car or go around there. So, you know what I mean? Like, things that have always been, you know what I mean, looked upon or looked that's okay. Don't try to just keep it to yourself. Pretty much behind doors if that's what you want to do, you know? Now, let me ask you this. Just switching gears up a little bit. When we're talking about music, I ask my past guests this, and I ask a lot of guests this because sometimes I like to see what shapes and molds a lot of these artists or where do you get their flavor from for their music. I know you're a big West Coast fan. Yes, sir. Are you at all East Coast fan at all? You know what? Man, Nas is dope. Big L, he's hard. Jay-Z, he's a lot of his newer stuff, you know what I mean? He's older, you know, like, it's whatever, but in the beginning when he was fucking with Big L, man, if you ever seen their freestyle together, Big L and Jay-Z, all gas, no brakes right there, you know what I mean? There is some dope East Coast artists. It's never been, like I said, personally, my cup of tea. You know, I was born and raised in the West Coast, but I got love for all music and genres, you know what I mean? Okay. And, you know, because as being an artist, I know how hard it is, and, you know, there's a fan base for everybody and anybody. Absolutely. Real shit, though, you know? Look at 6ix9ine, man. Like, I don't understand that shit. I don't support it. I don't like it. But I don't understand how that dude has so many damn fans. But, hey, more power to you. I ain't going to salute you. You know what I mean? Because I don't go by that. But, hey, I'm just giving an example, though. You know what I mean? Like, it just goes to show you there's no reason to hate on another artist or, you know what I mean, get in somebody else's lane, stay in your own lane. Right, it's fans. That's what wins. How you're going to win is the fans. The fans, you absolutely, I mean? Absolutely. You win the fans, you're winning. Yeah, you know, and it's crazy about that guy, Tekashi, that this guy pretty much, well, he admitted that he snitched. We know that. Snitched on his boys, man. Right. You know what I mean? And I did that shit, homie. I'll get fucking killed right away. Of course. You know what I mean? Like I just, that's the way I grew up. You don't ever talk nothing. You know right. I mean? You didn't see nothing. You didn't hear nothing. You keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Where this dude's walking around, I'm like, how the hell is he still walking around? But that's none of my business because I'm worried about myself. Yeah. My competition is me. Yes. You know what I mean? Do I like the dude? I've never met him, and I don't care to meet him. Honestly, I don't want to because I live by the G code, homie. Of course. That's the way I was brought up. With all due respect to everybody, but, you know, when you're brought up a certain way and you come from poverty, you understand things. Right. You know, but I do not understand that whole situation. That's crazy, man.
Right. Let me ask you a question, and I won't pretend the question to you because obviously you said the way you live, and I get that, so I can't ask you this question. But say that there's a credible dude out there from the West Coast, Chicano rapper. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And let's just say you like his shit. I think the guy's dope. But now you find out for some reason that he just cut a song with Tekashi.
Me personally, like, I'm all about loyalty and everything. You know, I'm honestly cool on it. Just because, you know what, like, with all respect, that's just, if you go with certain boundaries as a person, like, I won't go cut it. I don't give a fuck how much money you give me. I will not cut a track with Tekashi ever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's me and that's me and my morals and what I live and stand
Of
for.
course.
But, you know what I mean? You doing that, cool. You know what I mean? Good shit. I wish the best of luck to you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. He called me up. This one individual called me up and he asked me, you know, well, what do you think? And I said, what do I think? And I said, look, I'm not going to answer the way I should answer, but because I consider you a friend, here's what I'm going to say. Get far away from it. Run from it. Run from it.
That's always going to haunt you.
Yes.
That's always going to haunt you. Oh, you were involved with this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be in this industry, especially if you want to be a rap artist, unless you're like The Weeknd or something, you know, you're talking things. But if you're talking about anything type of hood, and you're sitting here cutting a track with a vato like that, homie, like, I don't even want to say vato, homie, because
right.
I have no respect for the dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're gonna get frowned upon by the real ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just real. You know. And,
yeah. And that's
as I don't want to be affiliated with anyone. Like, I have a strong, solid team. And they're all, you know what I mean? Whether one of us do right or wrong, whatever, we all back each other. And if something were to happen, silence, homie.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's just the G code. You don't cross it.
Absolutely. And that's what I told him. I said, look, I'm even tripping that you actually even considering it.
Yeah.
And now, I don't want to use the word I understand why he considered it because that's the wrong word. And I want to word my words properly because I don't want nobody to get it twisted. But coming from him, he's been in the industry for so long and he's never got no. Yes. So I guess he was thinking maybe this could be it. And I said, if you think that, that's the wrong it, bro.
It's gonna come and bite you in the motherfucking ass.
It is.
Because that's always gonna be something that's in your catalog and what you did.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he has a banging ass hit. Oh yeah, but remember when he did this or that? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like I said, to each has its own. You know what I mean?
Right.
I won't do things with certain people that aren't you know what I mean? Street certified if they're trying to do things. You know what I mean? Like that because that's just how G code all the way. That's not how it was brought up. And I don't want to be around fake individuals. All my people want them to be solid, sharp.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that because now the level that I'm on, we don't get into no trouble, nothing like that. You know, we go hit our shows, do our thing. This is my music team and everything. So we're solid. So we don't need a weak link or a loose, you know what I mean? A loose, you know what I mean, link in the team.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, last question before we go to, because I'm not a rapper, so I like to ask a lot of rap questions. Before, obviously, this hit the news that he snitched or whatever. But is that guy a good rapper?
I'll be real honest, and honestly, I'm gonna tell everybody with all respect, fuck no.
I tried.
No, fuck no. Bro, he screams in every damn song. Like, with all the respect, you know what I mean? Like, I hope I don't offend anybody.
Right.
But I mean, I have my team. I know what good music is, bro. And
right.
He's just screaming and all these colorful shit. Like, it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, this is not a rave, homie. Every day is not a rave party.
Right,
you know?
right.
And, you know, the way you portray yourself as an artist is the way you're gonna get treated. So you're sitting here with all this colorful shit after gangster, then you caught this case. You're supposed to do life snitching everybody. You know what I mean? And your music is garbage.
Right.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I hope, like I said, with all the respect, if I offended you, I don't know what to say, but he is crap.
Yeah, you know, the majority of the people that I knew that liked him were pretty much females because I got a lot of friends that DJ, they're on the East Coast, and they told me that when they used to play his stuff, that it was the females that would go crazy over it. But I would ask him not being a rapper, do you think that guy's any good? You know, because I'm not a rapper, but I know what I like. You know, I know dudes that are dope, but I guess I was asking him, I don't see what people see, but do you think the guy's any good? And he just said, look, bro, it gets girls' asses on the dance floor. That's why I play it.
You know what? And this music's already done and made dope. Who's that crazy ass punk rock band where they wear masks and everything? They're actually art site. I'm a chef, I'm playing please. Slipknot. Okay. He's like trying to rap in like Slipknot style. It's like, motherfucker, like, dude, that's beyond punk rock to the foolish. Like,
right.
Don't try to bring that shit over here, homie. You know what I mean? I'm just being real though, bro. Like, at least be a master in your craft. That's why I don't understand how the hell he's at where he's at, and he's a master of crap.
There it is there.
I'm just being real.
And I appreciate you being real. And we're going to be back in 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break, everybody. So make sure you call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Piez is in the motherfucking building. We'll be back. Don't fuck around. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 140, and we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it with Piez. Piez, really quick, man. There was a boxer years ago called Jorge
Piez.
Yes.
Payaso.
Yes.
Yeah. My grandma used to call me Payaso. Serio, homie.
Where does the name Piez come from for that you use for your rap name?
Honestly, that's my real name.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my real name. I was born on the same day as my grandfather, 11/7. November 7th. And shit, man, that's, my mom, name she decided to give me. So I'm running with it. It's one of a kind. It's unique. So why not? Because I've actually hit up, like, when I first started doing music, I was like, man, you don't think I should do something different? Like, you know, everybody's like, nah, that's you, and it came to a point in time because Piez, Ghetto Celebrity is like that's my record label that I started. You know what I mean? That's my clothing line. So I was like, why don't you just become Ghetto Celebrity? I'm like, it's Piez. You know what I mean? We sitting with Piez, riding with it till the wheels fall off. You know?
Exactly. You know what? Now I wanted to ask you, because I know we talked a little bit about the whole Tekashi bullshit incident. Is there any rap today? Let's start with the radio shit. If you listen to the radio or the popular shit, is there anybody out there that you do like?
Honestly, I rarely listen to radio just because I'm so focused on my music and what I got going on all the time.
Right.
Like I'm legitimately like in Hollywood like 4 to 5 days a week. You know what I mean? So it's I'm busy as hell. But I have gotten actually clicked it on Pop Smoke. I guess he died, but he's all on the radio. He's actually pretty dope. You know what I mean? But besides that, with all respect, I just, it's not my cup of tea. Everything that's out right now,
Do you think that this is the only time in your life, or if you will, the only era of music that you pretty much possibly shut radio out?
For the most part, yeah. Actually, yeah. Honestly, you know what I mean?
If we really think about it,
yeah,
a lot of us old school heads have done that. And it isn't that we don't like rap, because we love fucking hip hop. It's just, we just don't like this shit today.
Everything right now, and it's crazy. If you look on the past 2-3 years, all these, with all respect, like I said, like I got love for every artist. I love music. I appreciate everyone's hard work, your grind, because if you don't grind, you don't shine.
Right.
But that's why there's so many one-hit wonders nowadays.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I tell my kids, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice whenever they love my music. They hear it, especially with what they listen to today. But it's funny because, like, my 13-year-old son, I'm talking to him, hey, what's up? Hey, who you listening to? I'm like, well, what happened to so-and-so? He sucks, Dad. You know what I mean? I'm like, as I said, like, you know what I mean? That's why I give my love, I shout out to every artist, but music is evolving. It's coming back to the original, you know what I mean? Things that actually told a story, that painted a picture.
Yes.
Besides, you know what I mean? Talking about Tatiana and, WAP, I don't want to say, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I got daughters, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to listen to that shit, honestly. My wife would be like, don't play your music around them, use cuss words, whatever. I'm like, man, they're sitting here listening to way worse. Believe me.
Somebody asked me, what does WAP stand for? Wings and pizza.
Yeah, I wish. You know what I mean? For real. Because the kids, they click on YouTube, homie, and
this is the generation, though, that most kids today that I've seen when I've gone like to homie's house and their kids, they don't watch TV anymore. Everything's YouTube.
Everybody's stuck on their damn, you know what I mean? Their little shit. It's crazy, man. I'm 36 years old, so like as a kid, we didn't have that still even then,
right.
Like I barely started, I think I got my first cell phone when I was 15 years old, but I was hustling. I was in the streets hustling. I got that on my own. You know what I mean? Parents weren't buying their kids cell phones. You know what I mean? Unless you were like, you know what I mean, in the more high end areas, but nobody's buying their kids. I don't buy my kids cell phones to this day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just,
and I'm glad you said that, because
no, that's real though. A lot of my other friends, you know what I mean? They had their kids have cell phones, and my kids would be like, well, what are their parents? I said, well, that ain't your parent. I mean, like I want to keep you guys kind of somewhat at least grounded and focusing other things.
Yes. You know what?
It's sad though when you go to restaurants. everybody, mom, dad, every kid sitting there like this. It's like, what happened to the conversations? What happened
Yes.
to, you know what I mean? Like the real, you know, like, because that's what we need through times like this too. You know, love, you know what I mean? Like, being just intimate with our families.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
For
know,
real though.
and I'm glad you're touching on that because I've gone to restaurants where maybe the kids are all on their phone, feet on the table, you know, doing
Yeah,
this,
I know.
and the parents are like old school. You know, it's almost like they had their kids too late, and now they don't know how to relate to that, if you will, generation. And look, I got friends that I love, like friends that their 3 or 4 year old daughter got a cell phone.
Yeah.
You know, or their
Ain't
son.
happening over here.
Yeah, you know what? Now,
Real shit. You know what
now
I mean?
I'm not, and even though we may not agree, we're not saying don't do that. We're not saying
Yeah.
that you're the parents.
Exactly. Parent your own way, you know what I
Right.
mean? But that's one thing I've learned too about parenting is, you know what I mean? You're gonna fuck up. You know what I mean? Parenting is a journey on its own. There's
Right.
no right way to parent. You have to learn it on your own. You know what I mean? You could look and observe the way your parents have taught you, but until you deal with your own children, it's its own obstacle.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what I mean? And how you handle it, you know what I mean? But discipline is mandatory. And that's what I tell my kids. I love you guys to death. I said, you know, we are tight like that. We, you know what I mean? Like, I love being that. It feels like we're friends, but don't get it fucking twisted. Don't cross that line because I ain't your homie. I'm dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're their father.
Yes, I'm your father. So yeah, we can have a good time and all that, but as soon as you want to cross that line thinking that, it's a wrap. There's
Yeah.
respect, discipline, you know what I mean, and punishments, you know what I mean? You do something, you gotta deal with it. You know what I mean? So I want my kids to be good because you know what? I didn't really, you know, I'm cool with my dad now, but he wasn't there around. So I had to go to jail. I had to catch cases to learn,
Right.
you know what I mean, that you fuck up, there's repercussions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'd rather beat their damn ass with a belt. And nowadays, you know what I mean? I guess they're not even allowed to hit them with a belt or whatever, you know? But I'm being real though, like, you know what I mean?
And I appreciate that, man.
I want to go do some drive-by parenting when I see kids talking to their parents like that. Like, what the, like, show some respect, man. Like, they
Yeah.
brought you in, they take care of you. Like, it's
Yeah.
tough being a parent, homie.
It is.
Especially being a rap artist too. Like, man, the obstacles I go through, man. Because once I get home, it don't stop. It ain't, oh, you go rest. Nah, fuck no. I got to be a dad. I got to be a husband.
And it
You
don't
know what I
stop.
mean? Yeah, it don't stop. So, you know what I mean? Life ain't no motherfucking rap video. It looks
Right.
glamorous, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it does. Yeah.
You know, but reality is reality, you know?
Yeah.
And, man, it's just, I just trip out on everything, bro. You know, we go on and on, you know what I mean? For real.
I'm enjoying this combo, bro.
Yeah, it's a
truly
good
am.
one. It's a good one, man.
I love
For
it.
real.
I love it. I poured myself a little bit of tequila.
Hey, salud.
Salud, bro.
Salud. Hell yeah.
Now, I like to ask this question because one of my favorite questions. Either your top 5 favorite albums or top 5 favorite artists from the West Coast.
Okay, I give you both, honestly.
Let's do it.
So my top 5 favorite artists from the West Coast, okay? 100% definitely E40, okay?
Oh, you heard me.
I started listening to him in the late 80s, though. My Theo put me on about him. You know what I mean? That's when he was with the fuck, what the fuck are they called? Timer, 40 water. But he was with Be Legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just barely started getting
Sprinkle.
it. Yeah. Shit. Smoked too much damn weed on that break. You know what I mean? But E40 in the click. The click.
Yeah.
It was the click. You know what I mean? But definitely E40. 100% Pac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Snoop for sure. Yuck Mouth, 100%. Spice One.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what everyone trips out. They're like, how do you like foods that are from down south and then north too? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
This is the West Coast, baby. Like, you got to remember the pioneers, you know, and I grew up in the streets. Excuse me. So Yuck Mouth, Spice One, they had Thug Lords, all that. Like they were speaking my language. E40 was speaking my language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's sitting there talking about Tycoon and Wolverines. You know what I mean? My blood don't, my heart don't pump blood. Pump small liquor, 211 still reserve. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this is my shit. You know,
Right.
I got my tycoons. You know, like I'm out of pitching, quarterbacking, grinding, gritting, all that. You know, and that's the way I grew up, bro.
You know what? I appreciate you being honest with that, man, because like I was sharing earlier that I was never an E40 fan. I tried to listen to his music. I tried to listen, but he won me over when I saw him perform, man.
Dude,
because here's a guy that was up there literally by himself. He didn't have dancers at that time.
Yeah.
Well, that day. But he was out there and he was giving it his fucking all, bro. And I was like, I have to fucking admire that, man.
Even still, because I opened up for E40, it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, at the Kush, one of the Kush stocks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it was up there at Adelanto Stadium, right? And I went on like I don't know two artists. I was two artists before him, and it's him and B Legit rolled up everything. I was on stage with him, everything, man. And hey, my shit bang, my shit go. Like hey, he's you feel it, the energy, just the enthusiasm. You know what I mean, the enthusiasm with it. It's just that's a real artist, man. You know, and you gotta respect him because he's been there since fucking 19 in the late 80s.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like amazing. You know what I mean? That's why I love West Coast music, bro. You know, and I've been blessed enough to do a track with Yuck Mouth.
Dope.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys seen it. It's this shit right here. This shit's gas, so you gotta check it out.
Check it out. It's on
You know
YouTube
what
for
I mean?
people to watch?
Yeah, yep, it's
Okay.
on YouTube. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, like these were growing up, these were who I looked up to and my, you know what I mean, who I was like my favorite rappers, man. These motherfuckers are bad, and now I'm doing tracks with them.
If you have you know how people say I have a bucket list of where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Say if you had a wish list for rappers, let's just say 3 rappers, whether alive or deceased. Alive or deceased, meaning like it's just a wish, you know.
Yeah.
A hypothetical scenario. If there was 3 people that you could do a track with, you know, maybe a track with each one of them, who would they be?
Okay, I'll definitely have to say Snoop,
Okay.
Ice Cube. Shit, man, you put it on me right now. You know what I mean? I feel like you're the genie. I gotta make 3 wishes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
The last one, Biggie, man. He's from the East Coast. You
Biggie.
know what I mean?
Yeah, Biggie, man.
No one, Biggie and Pac. I say actually, fuck yeah, Snoop, Biggie, and Pac.
Okay.
Honestly, that was my 3.
Snoop, Biggie, fuck. Okay. Now, here you got Biggie, Life After Death album.
Yeah.
That's the double CD, if I'm correct, right? The double CD or
Yeah, that was Life After Death.
yeah, Life After
Yeah.
Death. And then you got Tupac, All Eyes on Me, double CD.
Yup.
If you had to pick one, which one would it be?
Pac all day, man.
Okay.
I have to. I'm West Coast, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it bleeds through my blood, the West. I mean, the West Coast. I'm an East Sider, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? The West Coast bleeds through my blood.
What do you think it was about Pac, man, that everybody loves so much? Especially a lot of Raza, they fucking like gravitate to Pac, man.
You know what? He just speaks from his soul, man. You could tell when he writes his song, they're so emotional, so felt, and he shows us Raza so much love and speaks upon it. So you actually you can feel like as if he was a Chicano when you listen to his shit. You know what I mean? Because the way he made his music, it wasn't like it was directed towards one race or nothing. Like it actually, because it sounds like he can rap like a homie, you know what I mean? Like just the love, the passion, and just a drive, man, you know, and just he's just amazing artist, man, you know?
Yeah.
For real.
You know, somebody asked me a question a couple of years ago, and I'm going to ask you the same question. And they said this: if you can be at their show, and they asked me about 4, I may add one, but they asked me, if you can be at a show and see them perform one more time, who would it be if you had to choose between Tupac, Biggie, Prince, Bob Marley? And to be honest, man, I was
I
like,
never say Bob Marley. I don't know why. I just like I love the rap music, everything, but Bob Marley, like he was just so. I don't know. He was an amazing artist too. Like, that would be awesome to see. And I heard at reggae shows that they fuck up one time. They restart the whole song and all the drum blowing. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough one though. You know what I mean? Because I'll honestly, hands down, I want to see all of them. But Bob Marley, that'd be amazing. You know what I mean?
I said Bob Marley, and even though I love Prince, Prince is like my number one artist.
Yeah, Prince is dope. Prince is dope.
The only reason why I would, oh man, I even feel bad saying this. The reason why I would pass up on Prince is because I've seen him in concert already.
Oh, that's, hey, you're blessed, and that's dope. That's dope.
You know,
how was that concert?
It was fucking amazing. The first concert that I attended was when the Purple Rain album and the movie first came out. So I saw that, and then I met Pac when he was 19. I met him out in Oakland, DJ Fuse's house. When this was in 1992 at the Gavin convention from Frisco, we went out to Oakland and we just all hung out.
Yeah.
He had just finished doing Juice, the movie.
That's a dope movie too. He was crazy in that movie.
Yeah,
it was crazy as fuck.
And you know what's crazy? Because and I still remember, again, he was just a youngster. He was a real quiet guy, like a real quiet guy. And even though he never got on our pictures with us, but what I asked him, can you take a picture of us if you don't want to get in it? And he was like, I'll take it. And that's pretty much all he said. And he took one picture of us.
Yeah.
Money B, DJ Fuse, and a couple of other guys there. And but he didn't want to get in. He still had the Gumby hairstyle, had the Digital Underground trench coat, and
the gummy ears.
Yeah. And he was just a real quiet dude.
The super high top.
Yeah. And that's how I remember him. And then another time I saw him at a club, but this was when he was already out of jail and California Love had just dropped. Yeah. And he was like, nobody could get near that dude. So, but yeah, man, I have a lot of Tupac stories that were told to me from a lot of friends, but I would probably say Bob Marley. So
yeah,
that's what I said.
So we're looking eye to eye then.
Yeah.
And the same direction.
Yeah, you know, and Bob Marley's music is fucking great. You know, I have grandbabies, okay? And every once in a while, I take them on a stroller and I walk them to the park. And I have the big JBL Extreme and I Bluetooth Bob Marley, and that's what they like. That's what we cruise with.
Because it's just, you know what, that's what I love about Bob Marley's music too. Like, it don't matter who the fuck you are, where you came from, where you're at, you put that shit on like it's peaceful, one love. You feel that shit. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta be drunk. You don't gotta be, you know what I mean, high or nothing to feel his music. It just makes you feel good. So
yes.
You know what I mean? He's a man, fucking amazing artist, man.
And look, you know? And just in case somebody didn't watch one of my episodes, you guys can Google this. There was an FBI agent that on his deathbed confessed that he was ordered to kill Bob Marley.
No.
Yes, he confessed it. You can Google it. FBI agent confesses to conspiring to kill Bob Marley, and how he was told what hurt. And I won't give it away so that way everybody can read it.
Yeah.
But he pretty much said that what hurt him the most, that he had to befriend him. So he said, you know, I went into this like, you know, I work for the government to protect, you know, United States. But I had to befriend him. He goes, and I found out what a good man he was and how much he loved me and how much he friended me back. But I still had to carry out what I did. And that's the one that pains me the most. So on his deathbed, he confessed.
That's fucked up too, man. Like, I don't know. Like I said, each has his own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, that's, you got to be a cold-blooded motherfucker to be able to do that, you know what I mean? Because, like, if I could go back in time, you know what I mean? I got felonies, all that shit.
Right.
It would have been dope, you know what I mean? To be like, because I like watching ID, like a crime scene investigator.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to arrest somebody, but like to put the puzzle, the pieces together, that shit's tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, my wife's like, how'd you be able to see like bodies like that? I'm like, I don't know, seen that shit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? My whole life, you know, but just put the pieces together, because I wouldn't want to be nothing with, you know what I mean? Oh, it was fucking so-and-so or this, no, but, you know what I mean? That would be an interesting, amazing job, you know? Yeah. But I love my job a lot more now that we're doing music now. You know? Awesome,
man. You know, but yes, you know what? Bob Marley would be great. Now, Let me ask you this: outside of family, I know this is kind of a little bit off the topic, but I think we're having a great conversation.
Hit me with it.
Outside of family, if there was one person in history, or even alive, but let's just say one person in history that you could sit down on a bench, either at a beach or the park, just you two alone, who would you like to have a 1 hour conversation with?
1 hour conversation with.
It could be anybody present that's still alive or somebody in history.
You know what? You got me stumped on that one, but you know what? It would be dope to sit down with Martin Luther King.
Really?
I had a dream, yeah. You know, because he stood up went against all odds completely.
Yes.
To the fullest, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm an erased motherfucker, so I appreciate everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that's one righteous, bold motherfucker right there. You know what I mean? And he said he had a dream, like it'd be nice to pick his brain about everything he had because he was such an intelligent individual. You know what I mean? He just wanted peace with everybody, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what we still fight with today. You know? To this day, not bad like that where,
Right.
you know, you have your own personal bathroom, you know, this shit, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy, you know what I mean? Like, it would be nice to sit down with him. I'd have to say, off top right now, because he's always been an individual that I always like, man.
Admired.
Oh, yeah, admired, like, what made him think like this? What made him want to stand up? What made him want to, you know what I mean? Like, speak his mind. And because of him, whether every race wants to admit or not, all these motherfuckers, you know what I mean, that are high power, whatever the fuck color you are, I don't give a fuck. We're all human. We all bleed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We put us all together. You know what I mean? Fucking stab us each. We're all gonna bleed and die. You know what I mean? Hit us in the same spot.
Right.
I mean, no one's better than anybody. You know, it's all about hard work and what you want in life. But back to what we're talking about. Like, man, I would really like to know, like, what gave him his motive to have this. I have the dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's amazing and beautiful, man, because we are all people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all bleed the same blood. We all die. We all hurt. We all cry. We all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go through struggles. We all feel pain. We all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what's sad? And this is a message to everyone out there, that everyone who ever desired to make a difference and to use their voice, sad to say, eventually they were all killed.
Yeah, assassinated. And that's
Yes.
real shit.
You know, let's go back to Bob Marley.
Because you piss people off.
Yes.
That much, that ignorant of a motherfucker, you make them that mad where they want to go kill somebody that they don't even know. Never sat down, never been in a room. This could become one of your best friends. You never know, you know what I mean? Like, just because they want to show unity.
Yes.
Because we all do the same fucking things. We all shit. We all piss. Women, they all have, you know what I mean, their menstrual shit. Men, you know what I mean? We all, you know what I mean, have fucking our shit going, you know what I mean? And it's just, it blows my mind really when I do go in a deep thought. You know what I mean? Like that, how you just picked my brain right now.
For an example, you got like a guy like Bob Marley. He had a love message. He was killed.
Yeah, one love. Yeah.
But now,
motherfuckers are mad because you piss off. It's like, the fuck? Like, people get so mad about peace because motherfuckers are so mad at what they got going on in their life. Motherfucker, better yourself. Have more wants, more needs. Stop worrying. That's what I tell my kids too. Stop worrying about your brother or sister. When you learn to focus on yourself and be in competition with yourself, because in this life, you compete with everybody.
Yeah.
But what is that going to get you? A medal? You know what I mean? A gold, plaque, something this. But when you compete with yourself, you make, you know what I mean? You set new stones. You do achievements. You strive. You win. You know what I mean?
Right.
Worry about your fucking self and compete with yourself because there's enough piece of the pie for everybody.
For everyone.
For real shit though. I'm just being real
That's
though,
true.
man. You know what I mean?
Even
like,
in this rap game, there's enough light, there's enough shine, there's enough money to go around for everyone.
And like you said earlier, like the whole Chicano scene, like it's fucked up, man, because everyone's, he's gonna do better than me. So then people start hating each other. No, that's fucking, you doing that? Dope, fuck yeah, hey, salute, homie. I'm doing this. Hey, maybe we could bring this together. Like, show love because, you know what I mean? It's a ladder. Throw fucking your hand down. Throw your hand down, you know what I mean? Like, you show love and you unite, you show unity.
Right.
A team is amazing. You know what I mean? The only person you can't tell a team to is Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He said there's an AME. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
There's no I in team, but there's an AME.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? But legitimately, us as Chicanos, you know what I mean? We could do this, bro.
Absolutely.
Like all day, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show everybody, you know what I mean? Because I got some serious shit going on right now with the Obviously Brothers. Shout out to them. Shout out to my team.
Yeah.
I love them. You know, we got some shit cracking, bro.
And we're gonna get to that. Because we got to promote that. But now, really quick, Bob Marley had a voice. He was killed. Malcolm X, he had a voice. He was killed. Mm-hmm. Martin Luther King, he had a voice. He was killed. Then we have check this out. Eazy-E died of AIDS. Okay. And that's a big conspiracy because a lot of people don't believe you can catch that AIDS that fast and die a week later. A year later, Pac is killed. A year later, Biggie's killed. 3 back to back.
Yeah.
Coincidence or is that life? Okay. So here's my thing. When somebody asks me, who would you like to sit down with for 1 hour at a beach or at a park at a bench by yourself? Believe it or not, my first thought, and before I went into deep thought about it, was Malcolm X. Because I'll tell you what, it isn't that I'm interested in converting to Islam. You know, it's that I loved his passion, his fire, and his drive to speak for his people.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. Besides the whole Quran thing.
That's what all started.
Right.
But I had a dream. You know what I mean? Because he stood up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, when I thought about it, I said, you know what? Okay. I know most people are probably going to frown upon my answer, but I believe that the Bible's real. So for me, it was to speak to Adam from the book of Genesis. Because,
all right.
Because he lived in a perfect world.
Yeah.
He failed, and he lived in a, if you will, sinful world, the world that we live in today. He lived in 2 different worlds, and he was a man that was created in God's image. He was perfect, and then he failed. You know, so my whole thing is this. You know, I have questions like, hey, Adam, lift up your shirt. Do you have a belly button? Because he wasn't born. He was made.
Yeah.
You know, so I just have a lot of questions. You used to walk with God. What do you look like? What do you sound like?
If only we had a time machine, like what was that, Bill and Ted?
Or a DeLorean.
Yeah. DeLorean, yup.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
So now, here's what we're going to do. Because time is up, but we're going to keep going. I don't give a shit.
All good. I ain't in no rush.
Let's talk about your music, okay? At what point in your life, or how old were you when you began to actually start writing shit?
Let's see. I stumbled upon a studio, which is with the Odd Mob, about 11 years ago. That was my first experience seeing how music was done. So when I seen that night when I went home, because I brought over a big old bottle of fucking Patron, big old bottle of some Grey Goose.
Hell yeah.
Like, no bullshit, you know what I mean? Because I know I was going to go party over there with them, go hang out. Man, I'm going to bring the party, you know? It's always good to set a good impression and fucking be the pendejo.
Yeah.
You know? Come bearing gifts, so to speak, you know? But I seen that night. So that night I went home and actually, man, I was so, because I've always been passionate about music. I love music, you know what I mean? And I went home that night, I was seeing that, I was like, the fuck? Like, this is done in the garage like this? So I put on SPM, I Must Be High, and I wrote my first verse, okay? This is about 10, 11 years ago, right? And so when I went back the next day, because I was a Friday, Saturday I went back the next day, so like, oh, come back again. So I brought another bottle of Patron and another big old bottle of Goose, and showed them, and they picked out a fucking beat for it. They're like, you really fucking just wrote a verse over SPM? Like, I said, yeah, it's a dope track. I said, yeah, it's a dope track. You know what I mean? And it was a hobby for, you know what I mean, the next 6, 7 years, fucking around like here and there, you know? I never took it serious. It was just something fun to do. And then I just wanted to get it cracking, so I ended up buying equipment. You know what I mean? One of the homies, Bleez, actually, I love the motherfucker. He's dope as fuck. He was signed with Cocaine for a little bit. But he actually sold me the laptop. and I went to the laptop with the studio program on, which is a Sonar.
Okay.
Sonar 9 or Sonar 10. So I got that, and he's like, hey, so you just need to go to Guitar Center and get this. It's a little package deal with fucking, I forget what the name of it is, PreSonus or something. They came with a little microphone, a sound card, and the mic stand. Oh, no, headphones and a mic stand. And it was like $100. So that's how I got involved with that. So I go to hit this motherfucker up after I get a laptop off him, and he don't answer my phone calls or nothing. So I just fucking figured out how to work it. You know what I mean? And this is before, like I said, this is like 8-9 years ago. Because I like doing it as a hobby here and there. So, but I wanted to get the shit because I got hated on a lot. You know what I mean? I would be like, hey, you know, I want to come record with you guys. Motherfuckers wouldn't answer. Then I'd see these dudes recording when I hear their new song. I'm like, all right, motherfuckers. So I got that shit. He wasn't answering. Like I said, this was before YouTube instructional videos were out.
Right.
So when I figured out how to record, I'd record, okay, the hook, okay, then I record my verse, then I record the hook again instead of copy paste.
Oh, yeah.
So I learned the hard way. Okay, yeah, I learned it the hard way. So there was 1 or 2 nights that I did a whole fucking song, like 10, 12 hours, and they're okay. When I go to save, I erase the whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? And I was just discouraged, frustrated. But you know what? I liked music, so I kept doing it here and there. And December 2017 is when I got really serious. You know what I mean? And that's when everything completely changed because I really got serious about it. I did it here and there because I was working a regular job. You know what I mean? I was doing construction.
Yeah.
Instead, I still had the family. So, and I played semi-pro football too.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, bro.
Semi-pro football, bro.
Hell yeah.
I played middle backer and defensive end. You know what I mean? Which is badass, homie. Like playing football because there's a lot of retired pro players or some pro players that got rejected, kicked out the NFL, so now they're trying. You know what I mean? There's football players that are from Canada all over, and I'm like the only Chicano out there. But I'm sitting there banging with these motherfuckers.
Hell yeah,
because I love to hit people.
Hell yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hell yeah,
especially legally, I can flat back these motherfuckers, and hey, I'm good. Hell yeah, you know what I mean? But
I love football, so I'm glad you said that. So I take it the Saints are your team.
Huh?
I said I take it the Saints are your team.
I'm a throwback fanatic, and even though this ain't a throwback, this is Reggie Bush.
Right.
I'm a SC fan, but that's that's my driver, man. You know what I mean? My wife's like, you got more clothes than me. I got like at least 250 throwbacks in my closet.
That's dope.
But
man.
I don't wear any of them except for Cowboys during the season. After season, I rock everything else. I got Bo Jackson and Marcus Howland.
But you're a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, all day. I bleed blue. I got Dallas right there on my Jeep. Hey, there it is.
That's my team.
You see the colors though?
Yeah.
You see the colors?
Yeah.
Hey, hell yeah. Salute to that.
Let me put this right here, because that's my team.
But so, you know what I mean? With all that going on, I never really took music seriously. And then December 2017, like I said, I sat down with my boy Mike C. Shout out to him. I love him, you know. Sat down with a couple other people because my wife was like, you're getting older, motherfucker. Like, what are you going to do? You're playing football, you're doing music, go shoot pool in a bar league, and our kids are playing football now, like, make your mind. I said, you know what? After I sat down, I had a couple of talks with people that were actually in the industry. They said, don't blow your talent. You got something going, you know?
Yeah.
Because over the years, I learned how to work my equipment. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's the best thing.
Yeah, I know how to work my studio. I got a full studio on my pad, you know, and right now I haven't been recording it lately. I'll use it for a rough draft because, like I said, I've been going to Hollywood 4 or 5 damn times a week, man. And yes, I love it and I appreciate it, but now those multi-million-dollar studios with all the expensive equipment, it's a big difference, you know. Yeah. But that's when I got really serious, December 2017, and everything's been on since then. I'm a songwriter, a singer, and a rap artist.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, right now that, you know, obviously you have music out, did you produce your own music or do you still collab with other producers?
I'm not a producer, so like before I would look up beats, you know what I mean, on SoundClick, okay, and I would get that. That's when I first, you know what I mean. But like I said, once December 2017, when I got real serious, like I started trying to buy the beats from there, and some of these motherfuckers wanted, man, like 2,500 a beat. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I got introduced to Little Green Studios. Joe, you might have heard of him in Riverside. Little Green Studios. A lot of Chicano rap artists have been through there. I introduced him, and I was like, hey, can you remake beats? He said, yeah. Takes him about 3 hours. 75. It's $25 an hour, and that's to everybody out there too. If you're looking for a studio, look up Joe Little Green Studios. You can even hit my Instagram. $25 an hour, 3 hours minimum. That ain't nothing. You know what I mean? For real. What you put into your music.
That ain't shit.
You know, and
I mean, 3 hours, $75. They'll spend that shit at a fucking restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Well, he'll mix and master a song because this is how it ended up going. So, can you remake beats? Yep. And it take about 3 hours. So, what these motherfuckers are trying to charge me $2,500, $75. I just got the beat completely remade from scratch. I'm winning. Then I'm recording at my house. I have legitimate equipment. I know how to work it now. You know what I mean? And you know, keep this in mind. I was computer literate. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to work fucking nothing, homie. So I learned how to work all this shit. So now I either go sit there with him. Well, now I'm so busy. I send him the files, and he'll mix and master 3 songs in those 3 hours for $75. It don't get no better than that, and it's industry quality.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
But that's where my drive came from and everything, you know what I mean? Like at that point in time, once I started excelling, it was on ever since, you know.
Well, what was your first project out? Was it an EP album or a single? For those that may not know your music history.
It was, you know what, you can consider it album because everything was completely original. You know what I mean? It's called Poe for the Streets, which actually I haven't even released it. Okay, my next project was Piez Ghetto Celebrity, which is actually an album too. You can look that up. It's on every digital outlet, online digital outlet there is. You know what I mean? That's Ghetto
YouTube
Celebrity.
as well, but
Piez Ghetto Celebrity, YouTube, everything. You know, those motherfuckers from YouTube be fucking putting all your shit on there as day as posted. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers are streaming it for free. But I did that one. Then I have another one. I was signed with Crime Family Entertainment. That was back in 2018. I signed with 2018. I signed with Criminal, and I dropped All Eyes on P, which is under Crime Family. Then I left the label February 8th, 2020, and I dropped True Riders, which is my shit that I started. True Riders from the block to the booth.
Dope. So you were Mr. Criminal. What happened there that you ended up leaving?
Honestly, you know what I mean? Shout out to Crime Family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a really good experience, you know what I mean? I gained a lot of fans, and, you know, I traveled. I went to China with Crimes.
That's fucking awesome,
you know?
bro.
So,
honestly, that's fucking awesome.
And you know what? I've never been treated so fucking good in my life besides China. When we got off the plane, we kicked off 2019 New Year's. It was January 3rd. We landed in Beijing. Yeah, these motherfuckers, we pulled up. It was like 15 Chinese cholos, okay, waiting for us at baggage claim. After we got our bags, fools grabbed our bags, wheeled them out. Like, I ain't even lying. I swore on everything. Like, one of the fools, like, grabbed my arm. I was like, because he thought my watch was too heavy or something. Like, they treated us so good. Open doors, everything. Everywhere we went, we stayed at the Beijing Soccer Coliseum, right there in Beijing. Everywhere we went was 5-star hotel or 5-star restaurants. Long line, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'd walk right past the long line, okay? On personal room, everything, on personal chef, cater. Like the Chinese, man, hey, shout out to them, man. They are really nice people. Like I said, I will never forget that in my life, man. I went to the Great Wall. All that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing, bro. It was amazing.
Now, here's where I want to shine light and give you props, and I want people to hear this.
Yes, sir.
Your music took you to China, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it did. You know, and that's why, like, you know, everyone's like, "Oh, you left Crime Family, like, you and Criminal beefing." Oh, we ain't fucking beefing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
nothing like that at all. Like, you know what? Like,
You did your thing and you moved on.
Yeah, you know what? I learned a lot from him, and I want to do my own thing, and that's what he told me when I signed. Like, you know, if this ain't right for you, want to do something, let me know. You know, and it was that easy. You know what I mean? So,
but for you to travel like that, because
yeah, it was amazing, man. It was awesome. Like, I'll never forget that, man. Like, just going to a whole new culture, and
hell yeah.
What I tripped out on is, okay, so, you know, like, say if we all went out to dinner, right? We go to a Chinese place. You know, more likely to give us a lazy Susan, the table that swings around.
Right.
Okay, and there'll be a serving dish. There was no serving dish. Everybody was grabbing the chopsticks they were eating out of their mouth, and I'm like super germaphobe. I was like, oh fuck, for real, this is going on. So I see homeboy next to me, you know what I mean? The Chinese dude sitting there grubbing, and then he's sitting there grabbing chopsticks. I was like, oh fuck. Man, I need another beer to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because, you know, some people are like that. Like, I'm real clean and, you know.
Same here, bro.
No double dipping, none of that shit.
No double dipping. I got to wash my hands all the motherfucking time.
Yeah.
And this is before COVID. I always wash my hands.
Oh, yeah.
2 showers a day, bro. I just do shit like that.
Me
bro.
too. Hey, morning, night, hey, especially summer. Shit, hey, I'm a shower motherfucker.
Dude, I iron my fucking drawers, homie. Like, that's
I don't do all that, but
I do.
Yeah, salute to you.
Dude, there was time that I ironed my socks. So
my wife gets mad because whenever I'll grab all my boxers and just put them in the drawer, she wants to fold them and shit. I'm like, ain't gotta fold them, just shove them motherfuckers in there. You know? But I'm a super OCD about everything else, though.
Yeah. See,
you know?
I'm the same way. I iron my jeans, I iron my Pendletons, my white tees.
Oh yeah, mandatory.
I love look. I love ironing. I iron all my kids' clothes. Like I love ironing, bro.
Me too. It's crazy because we just went to Vegas a couple weeks ago, and the couple we went with is which I coach football with homeboy. He's cool as fuck, and then him and his wife, my wife, hit it off. Well, she was faded. She's like, I'm supposed to iron Brian's jeans. She's like, you mind ironing? I said, man, give me the whole motherfucking fit. I was ordering my shit. I got it. Motherfucker was looking. He was a white dude looking like a fucking, looking like a homie. All creased up, everything.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? For real.
The person who taught me how to iron was my dad. He used to grab honestly, this is before they had steam on irons.
Yeah.
He goes, you know, like, agarras un plato, le echas agua, like put water in it, agarras un pañuelo, like a handkerchief, dip that motherfucker in there, squeeze it, fold it in half, put it right there.
Old school.
Yeah. Do it again. Creases, man.
We're spoiled now.
Yes, we're really spoiled. I mean,
my shit fucking, I got 4 different settings. It'll spit out steam, 4 different settings, steams. It's chrome and shit on the bottom with green. I think it's like immersing or something. It's like $35 or something. But
yeah,
I'm all, man, I love this motherfucker.
Yeah, you gotta have a dope ass iron.
I love this motherfucker. My kids ain't allowed to touch none. They got their own iron.
You know what? I'm glad you brought up China and the Chinese, and I'll tell you why. Flying back from Denver on Sunday, I finally got to see the documentary that cause I'm a documentary watching motherfucker.
Me too. I love documentaries.
Okay, did you see?
Real shit.
And if you haven't, I encourage you to see it. And I encourage everyone to see it. On ESPN, 30 for 30, Bruce Lee, Like Water.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, you have to fucking see it. Oh,
Like
my
Water.
God.
Bruce, he's a bad motherfucker, too.
Fuck, dude. This guy.
Bad.
He's one guy that I wish I would have been asked, do you want to sit down with him? You know, because this guy was fucking amazing, dude. And watching his documentary, like it brought tears to my eyes, especially how he drank some type of tea, took a nap because he had a migraine, and he never woke up, bro.
Oh, man. That's how he died?
That's how he died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know, and we were in China. That's what I loved about them, too. Everywhere we fucking went, there was a couple, it was tea right away. They brought out the whole tea board. They would fucking, because they and their shit, they don't have tea bags. They have the shit in like oranges and shit like this.
Yes.
And they were fucking pouring water, and then they would run it through like a little filter system, and the excess would fall out. And they keep running through. Like everywhere was just so peaceful and like tea. I was like, man, I need to incorporate this in my life. You know what I mean? Hey, for real though, you know what I mean? But
no.
like I said, wife, 5 kids, 2 dogs, had to go. It's almost impossible.
Yeah,
enough time in the day, homie, to get shit done.
Yeah, man. But watching his documentary, watching his live, they spoke to his wife, they spoke to his daughter. Obviously, his son Brandon was killed. I believe he was killed during the movie set. They were saying
The Crow, right?
The Crow.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have blanks, but one bullet got in there that was real.
That was planned. Come on now.
Of course.
Come on now. You put you don't fucking buy a case of blanks and there's just happens to be one that's a real deal. Come on, motherfuckers.
We all know that, bro.
And no one has ever executed for that, huh?
Yeah, nothing. So and his son Brandon, died, and Bruce Lee, I think, at the age of 32. He had a migraine. He laid down. He never woke up. That's why my morning quotes whenever I post shit, I always say, as long as I'm not dead, jail, or in the hospital, I'm blessed. Okay?
Yeah.
Every morning is a blessing. God is good. As long as I'm breathing, I'm blessed. Because
Yes, sir.
think about this. Bruce Lee drank that. I'll wake up in a couple of minutes. Let me go to sleep. And he never woke up again, bro.
Yeah.
And his wife in this documentary explained how much he suffered, bro. Like, the world, like, he never got to see his hit movie, Into the Dragon.
That's fucked up too. That goes to show you though, life isn't promised. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's never promised. So
Tomorrow's never promised.
when you're on the wake up call, you gotta appreciate that. You know what I mean?
That's right. You know what? There's a quote that I love posting every once in a while. It says, "Thank God that I was on his wake up list."
Yeah, that's real shit though.
It's real shit, man. It's real shit. So now, other than that, okay, what can the people, your fans, expect from Piez 2021?
2021, like I said, like, for one thing, first things first, I gotta, man, I appreciate all my fans, friends, family, because I wouldn't be at where I'm at if it weren't for them, and every single fan matters. You know what I mean? What you guys can expect from me, I don't want to sound cocky conceited, but you guys expect, you know what I mean? We about to, they say the sky's the limit, but we're about to be up there with the stars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got big things popping. Like I said, I got an amazing team that's involved around me. Everything's coming together. I can't wait to release this. It'll be within the next month or two,
Awesome.
I don't have an exact date just because so many good things are going on.
Okay.
But I'm connected with the right people. Man, and it's just it's a trip to see how music was before to now at the elite level. You know what I mean? Because I'm like I said, I'm working with the Avila brothers, which look them up. You know what I mean? They got 5 Grammys, 50 platinum plaques. They produced Usher, Little John, you name it.
Yeah.
You name it. They fuck with Prince. You name it. Just look them up, man. Mary J. Blige, Maya, Missy Elliott, Mary J. Blige. Like it's just the list goes on and on. So
That's
what you
awesome,
can
man.
expect from me is honestly to put on for us Chicanos and rise to the top to a whole nother level that's
Yeah.
never been hit. What I mean?
Awesome,
Like I
man.
said, I'm not being cocky and conceited, but everybody will see.
But you're confident in what you're doing.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's an
100,
awesome thing.
100%, man.
Because at least I hope not, no boxer trains for a fight knowing he's going to lose.
Right there,
You know?
And in this industry being told no and, just all the negativity, especially I'm 36, grow the fuck up, like, oh, you really think you got a chance? And I'm going against the odds and proving motherfuckers already wrong. You know what I mean? But that's not my goal to prove people wrong. My goal is to, be able to take care of my family, make this big paper, and set a whole nother level for us Chicanos.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because there's never been a Chicano that's popped from the West Coast to the mainstream level.
Right.
Name it. Can you name one?
No, I cannot.
You know what I mean? To that level. And like I said, I respect all the pioneers. I love all,
Right.
I got tracks with Kid Frost. I got tracks with Baby Bash. You know what I mean? Kid Frost let me remake Eastside Rendezvous. I don't know if you heard that one yet.
No,
You have to check
I
it
haven't.
out. Yeah,
I will.
he let me remake that one. You know what I mean? That's a personal homie. Baby Bash, personal homie. Bad Boy, you know what I mean? I fuck with him. I fuck with the pioneers, which is a blessing. You know what I mean? Because growing up, you're listening to these guys, and now you're in the studio with them, working with them, and it's just amazing. But to take it to a whole nother level, to be working with the people that I am in my team, you know what I mean? And for me to be the only one that doesn't have a Grammy, everybody else has a Grammy and platinum plaques, but me.
Right.
That goes to show a lot who's around me and what they believe in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Let me ask you a question that I ask a lot of Chicanos.
yes, sir.
Do you consider yourself a Chicano rapper?
100%. 100%. I'm a straight Chicano rapper. You know what I mean? There's definitions to how people want to list it, though. A Chicano rapper is, you know what I mean? Like, my wife, I'll give you an example. Tell me wear a jersey. She's like, why you wearing a jersey? You look like gangster. Well, the blacks, even the whites, they wear jerseys. They're just looking rappers. It's because the profile we've been given.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But if it weren't for the early Chicano pioneers, we wouldn't be where we're at. But music always progresses.
Yes.
Music progresses no matter what. If you're not progressing, you're not doing nothing.
Right.
You feel me? So in the now time of era, I'm not gonna come out with all the respect, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna come out like I'm not gonna essay rapper. I'm trying to show my ability, what I can do, and what I'm capable of, you know? And I'm like I said, I'm gonna take it to the next level for us Chicanos, you know? And everybody that doubts or anything, you know what I mean? It's not an issue to me because I'm a competition myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it to the next level, and I'm gonna give the next youngster coming up hope. And you know what I mean? And the dream, follow it. This can happen because Piez did this.
Awesome, man.
You feel me? You gotta have confidence like that, though.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're giving out that positive message. Now, say there's a 16, 16, 17-year-old rapper out there that's Chicano, and he's listening to you. What positive message can you give to him?
If you want to follow the music, man, keep the streets away from the music. Honestly, you know what?
Wait, say that part again.
Keep the streets away from the music, because the music and streets don't mix at all. You want to bring the streets to the music, you only get one shot in this music shit.
Yeah.
When you're coming up, you fuck with the wrong person. I don't mean the gangster fool. It could be this squarest person that's a head executive. They see you act a fool. All they have to say is spread, word spread, spreads like wildfire. Oh, this artist is hot, but he's a fucking bent hole. Fuck him. You're cut out. You know what I mean? When you want to do music, it's not about being the hardest. Like, I do music to feed my family. And I want to, you know what I mean, get my music out so everybody feels it, spread this positive, you know what I mean, message. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I've, you know what I mean, I'm elevating more, you know what I mean, going mainstream, because this is where I want to be for the rest of my life. Gangster rap, it's not going to make me the money. I get it all day long. This is what the fuck I lived. I lived this shit. I lived this. I mean, I hustle. My homies are killers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is real deal. We could talk about it all day long, but what the fuck do I need to prove that I'm hard and all this?
Yeah,
for?
you don't.
I want to make good music that people listen to and catches the ear.
Yes.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
So why not make that good music that everybody can listen to? Because, like some of my other videos, my kids all see them. There's guns, there's fucking, drugs, everything, Some of my homies are serving life in prison right now that were in the videos. What happened to him? Oh, he's serving life in prison, you know what I mean? That's my boy. Don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? And I love him, but, gangster rap, Chicano gangster rap has just evolved so much where everyone's trying to be the fucking hardest and they forget the message of putting out good music.
I'm glad you said that.
So what I want, my goal is to, this is what I did, you know what I mean? But there's a light at the end of the day, I coach football too. Football season started. So about 4 years ago when I moved out to Beaumont, started coaching football.
Beaumont.
Yeah, Beaumont, right there past Redlands.
By
Before
Palm
Palm
Springs.
Springs? Yeah. So I moved out there and I told my wife, I said, man, this is crazy. That's when I was signing a crime fam. I said, man, this is crazy because, like, all I need is one person out here to say, oh, that's that guy Piez. And they see my gangster videos, which I don't give a fuck because this is me. I'm going to keep it real 100%. But I'm out here coaching kids, so I was like, this is either me a really good thing or a really bad thing. Next thing I know, fuck, man. I got all these parents coming up to me. One person recognized me one day. Hey, you're Piez, the rapper, huh? All of a sudden, people started talking. Hey, straight up, I swear on everything. Next thing I know, I got parents coming up to me. Hey, we want to thank you and appreciate you. Our kid can only play. You know what I mean? Like, it's like his lucky chonies for the day. Like, he feels he can only play the game if he watches your video from 2 minutes and 51 seconds. He has to hear this for his game. And I'm like, it worked out beautiful, So as I'm blessed and I feel great that my music is being taken as being a positive message.
Yes.
And now even more, because I'll never forget where I came from. Don't get it twisted.
Of course.
I'll make a straight fucking gangster track for one. That's nothing. But like I said, I want to show that we can elevate and we can make this hot ass music that everybody's putting out. Why not? You know what I mean? We people, hey, we just like everybody else. You know what I mean? We bleed the same blood. We cry the same tears when family members die. I don't give a fuck. You don't cry when your family members die? The fuck is wrong with you? That ain't love.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Thugs cry, like Pac said.
That's
Thugs
right.
cry.
That's right.
But like I said, my objective is to fucking put us Chicanos on the map, and that's what I'm gonna do in a positive way. I'm actually gonna write a book too. You know what I mean?
Awesome,
I was already
man.
talking to my vocalist coach. I have a vocalist coach. You know what I mean? When I'm in the studio recording, you could do it better. And another one, like fucking DJ Khaled. Remember that commercial? You see that shit? He's brushing his teeth, and another one. You know what I mean? But that's my boy Frankie Fate. I love him to death, man. You know what I mean? Like a team is everything. You know, and we're gonna succeed. I'm gonna show everybody what's cracking, man. 7 Wonders of the World. That's my project that I'm about to drop.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's diversity. Motherfuckers gonna be like, fuck, but it's gonna give Chicanos a hope because why the fuck can't we hit every fucking avenue? Why can't we be diverse? Why do we gotta just be labeled as gangster? Like, come on, man. Like, I know what the fuck I can do on 30 shows, so man. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to brag about it. If who's really want to go down, I'll paint you a motherfucking picture that you ain't never thought or seen before because I lived it and I can write. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd rather write something that's amazing that's gonna hit the fucking radio. Fuck that. Motherfucker say selling out. I ain't selling out nothing. I'm taking care of my wife and 5 kids.
Hell yeah.
You feel me?
That's a real man.
Salute to that, though. You know what I mean? Straight up.
That's real gangster right there.
Yeah, that is. You know what I mean? And gangster is holding down your family, taking care of what you got to do with being a man of your word. Because strip us naked at the end of the day and put us on a bunch of room, what do we got? Our word, right?
That's right.
That's it. Our word. So if you ain't a man of your word, who the fuck's going to respect you?
Wow.
Real shit, though.
Okay, somebody asked me a question.
Yes, sir.
And after I answer it, I'm going to ask you. And I want you to really think about it. Somebody said,
Yeah, hell yeah.
what is the definition or your best definition of gangster? They asked me that, and I said, I thought about it. Here's what I said. This is my answer. You could totally have a different answer. Okay. What is your best definition of gangster? And I said, intelligence. That was my answer. Now your answer is?
Standing up for what you believe in, what is righteous, and, you know, intelligence and doing what is right by any means. By, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Standing up, rising up to the occasion.
Yeah.
Not going out acting fucking fool, killing people, because that's going to get you in prison. If that's what something that has to happen in the process, whatever, I respect that. I got, you know what I mean? I got plenty of families of beaten murder cases because they weren't in the wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were pushing the damn corner, and you know what I mean? It had to happen. But being a man, rising to the occasion, okay, having intelligence, and doing what's best for your family first and you.
Yes.
That's gangster, homie.
Absolutely.
You can do that. I feel that's my definition. You know what I mean? With all respect to everybody has their own shit, but that's really what it is, bro. Because anybody go kill somebody, anybody go fucking, you know what I mean, do whatever. But to rise to the occasion and take care of your motherfucking family, pay your bills, you know what I mean, and do all that, can't nobody tell you shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you do that, man.
Awesome,
You know?
man. Last question.
Yes, sir.
Your favorite, maybe not your favorite, but like some of the dopest Chicano rappers out there, if you can give me 5.
5? All right.
Take your time.
So first off, we're gonna start with Frost.
Okay.
Mandatory. Okay. SPM.
Okay.
Mandatory. Okay. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, whatever we live." I've talked to people that know the situation and what's going on with that. You know what I mean? Like some of us are dealt some shitty ass cards when you got money. You know what I mean? And people want to take advantage of you around you and will make some ugly shit up. You know, but so let's see, Fries.
Frost, SPM, you said.
Bash.
Bash. Okay.
Bash. A lot of people be like, he's not Chicano rapper. You know her wiggy. You know what I mean? You know,
I actually had SPM's wife here.
yeah?
Yeah, I interviewed her.
That's Rodriguez, Carolina Rodriguez.
Yes, I interviewed her, yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
Dope interview, by the way. So.
Okay, hell yeah. Be real.
Yes.
Yes, be real. Mandatory.
See, we can, and I interviewed him here in that same chair. He said,
I seen that actually. Yeah, be real. He's a cool motherfucker.
Oh
homie.
my
Yeah.
God.
He's
What
a real one.
And a fucking amazing fucking rapper, bro. And for him to come in the hood, bro, and like chill and fucking have salsa with me and tequila shots with me, and it was fucking dope, bro. Much love, Be Real. Much love to you, homie. So Be Real, SPM, Frost. Give me 2 more.
Be real, SPM Frost. That's that one more, no? Right, it's at Bash.
Okay, Bash, that's 4.
Bash.
Let's get 1 more.
Man, myself.
Okay. There it is there.
Myself. I'm about to put it on. You know what I mean? Like I said, I mean, cocky season, but
No, you just
I'm about to do
being
this. I'm
honest.
being real. As an artist, you have to be confident. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, I'm the motherfucker, fuck everybody. Nah. You know what I mean? Like when I pull up to do a show or, you know, a meet and greet, I'm beyond more than blessed and happy to meet everybody. You know what I mean? Because if it weren't for them, every single each
Right.
and one of them, which motherfuckers forget. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, last question. The state of Chicano rap within the last 5 years. Are you happy with it, or can we do better? Think about that one. Within the last 5 years, Chicano rap, are you happy with it, or can we do better?
Honestly, like I said, we can always do better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not that I ain't happy with it. I wasn't happy with myself because I wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just, though, like I said, I could paint a perfect picture, but there are certain artists that just hit on this. You know what I mean? I'm not meant to be. That's not my journey, my destiny. To be just settle for to be a straight hood gangster rapper.
Right.
Which I'll get that shit all day long. Like I said, I live this shit, but my talent is, you know what I mean, to hit the mainstream, man. Like I said, I could sing. I want to do a country song. I already got one in the works, you know what I mean? But it's always going to be representing Chicano. Don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? I got ladies cuts. I got top 40s cuts. I got blues cuts now.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going to see the 7 wonders of the world. What are the 7 wonders of the world to you? What does that mean to you when you hear 7 wonders of the world?
Well, that was the question for me?
Yeah, that's a question for you. What does 7 wonders of the world mean to you?
I don't know. That I can answer that several different ways.
But everything is completely different, but it all connects to each other at the end,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Exactly. So that's what I'm hitting everybody with this shit. Saying like what I just said, top 40. I got top 40
Right.
R&B. I got some Alicia Keys shit. Like I got club. I do got that dope trap hot shit, which is featuring the homie Jokes. You know what I mean? Jokes of his life. He's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he
too,
is.
You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I interviewed him here.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and I'm glad you asked that, because now, see, to me, that opens up to me that us as Chicanos, we're not stuck to one genre. We
don't need to be. So
See-
why do it?
yeah, see, thank you for that.
Why do it? Let's hit everything. Like,
Yes.
yeah, once again, like I said, I'm 36 years old. So
Yeah.
when I'm out with my family, you know what I mean? Like, I know what the fuck I can do, homie. I know I'm a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I know what I've done. But I don't need to go out showing all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why not apply this to the music? Yeah, we know we could hit the gangster rap, but let's hit this other shit too, like that Usher. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
What's his name? Post Malone, The Weeknd. All of these dudes just saying,
Yes,
like,
yes,
stop being
yes.
scared. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not saying it was scared, but you know what I mean. Don't be shy. Show your talent. If you could sing, sing.
See. Now here's the problem with a lot of people.
Yeah.
They think that Chicano rap is just gangster rap.
Exactly, and that's why it's so fucked up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That as soon as you're a Chicano rapper, oh, you're a gangster. Fucking
Yeah, I could
know
sing
what I mean?
just better than Post Malone. You know, I could play piano like Alicia Keys. Why do we have to box us in? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Let's hit every avenue.
Yes.
Just like the other artists are, the other races are. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
yes.
Let's show our ability. You know what I mean? Like, for real. That's what we need to do, honestly. And that's, like I said, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I give you my word, man. Give it a couple months, you guys are gonna see what's popping, man. You know what I mean?
Awesome, my brother.
I'm about to come back for a little a re-show.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
We started from the bottom, now we're there.
Now we're there.
Yeah.
So anything, brother, that I didn't ask you, anything you want to promote, anything you want to share before you give your shout outs?
Man, I just, you know what I mean? I just want to, man, promote, you know, ghetto celebrity clothing. That's my stuff. You know, promote Roadium Radio.
Awesome,
You
bro.
know, everybody here, you know, let's keep everything rolling, you know, and Chicanos, man, let's stand up and be united and support each other, you know what I mean? It's this is our time, you know, and let's get with it, or, you know, you get left behind. Real shit though. You know, so let's stand up, and you know, we all do our thing. You know what I mean? We all came from different places. Don't matter where you came from; it's who you rolling with. You can't help where you were born. That's where your mom was. You know what I mean? So, real motherfuckers. You know what I mean? There's real motherfuckers every place. I got pieces of shits in my neighborhood, and I got real motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's why I'm from the Inland Empire, but I got Baldacci, you know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers like that in LA that are my motherfuckers. Like, I love these dudes to death. You know, these are real people. It don't matter, it don't matter where you came from. Real recognize real. When you meet somebody real, you hold on to them.
Awesome, man.
Because real don't come too often nowadays, homie.
That's right. Any shout outs you want to give, my brother?
I want to give a shout out first. My mom and dad, thank you for fucking making me. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Can't get
you
more
know,
real than that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but just my, man, just my friends, family, fans, my music team, you know. Bobby Ross, you know, Frankie Faye, Beezy, you know, Joe, fucking Big Fern over here, you know what I mean? Just everybody that's been a part of this. Like, I genuinely appreciate you, you know. My wife, of course, you know, putting up with all the late nights, turning early mornings, you know.
Hell yeah.
My kids, you know, looking in your faces every day when I wake up keeps me going, keeps me motivated. You know what I mean? Knowing that I can't take no for an answer and I will not fail. You know, so if I left anybody out, man, you know, mother-in-law, suegro, suegra, I love everybody, man. Like, there's too many people that have been a part of this, that have been so supportive and believe in my dream and have been a part of this. So, you know, I love everybody. Thank you. You know, if I left, once again, like I said, I don't want to be repetitive, but if I left anybody out, you know, especially you fans, all you guys, each and every single one of you, let's get it. Let's keep going. Let's go to the top. I got this, baby. I couldn't do it without you.
Awesome, my brother. Other than that, let me say this. I want to thank you for coming out here and giving me the honor and the pleasure to interview you. One thing that I love about you is your fire. I love your passion. I love your drive, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Like,
you know what? And let me tell you something. More than that, I love the love that you have for your family, bro, because I don't see that a lot today, man.
You have to,
you know. You mentioned your wife, you mentioned your children, and you mentioned your goat.
Yeah,
you know,
motherfucker. Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So, other than that,
well, you know what though, because right now when I go home, I'm going home to my wife and kids.
That's beautiful.
So of course I appreciate them, because you know what I mean. I'm blessed the ability to come out here and do what I got to do, as you know what I mean, as a artist, you know, coming to be able to be on a show like this, you know, which I appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Roadium Radio, you know what I mean, all day, you know. But without the people that support you, you ain't gonna go nothing. If you got a strong support system, that's a strong backbone.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So once again, thank you for everything. And let me get my shout outs. Let me give a shout out to
Zero.
Yeah, to first of all to Piez. Let me give a shout out to my boy Anthony, the one who's running this motherfucking love boat. Yeah, thank you for coming to Roadium Radio at a perfect time.
Thank you, Anthony, for real.
Nah, you know I mean. And let me give a shout out to Alex Cervantes Enterprise. A lot of people don't know that's like the mechanic playboy right there. It's not a problem that he can't fix, because he could do it in the mix. So other than that, let me give a shout out to my son, B. Scanless, for helping me promote this. And I wish he was here a little bit more often, but his dad just loves the benefits of Roadium Radio, but he doesn't care to help out sometimes. And let me give a shout out to my boy DG Media Clips, my boy Roger Live, and my boy I haven't mentioned in a long time, Boomer Boomer did it, the Remedy Yard. And let me give a shout out to me. Oh, yo, Jen, Fashion Town. Go visit my boy Fashion Town if you want your Ben Davis, your Dickies, your white tees, your Pro Clubs, your Pendletons. Go to Fashion Town. My boy Jen will definitely fucking hook you up. Tell him Tony A sent you. The only thing he ran out of was khaki G-strings for all you vatos out there that are a little bit of soft and loafers.
Hold on
So,
there.
yeah. He's out right now, so, you know. He doesn't carry no purses, so I'm sorry. You're going to have to go somewhere else. Other than that, Sunday, great guest. You'll see the flyer tomorrow. Other than that, I'm about to go inside and eat a fucking quesadilla with fucking birria meat in it. Oh my God.
Quesadilla.
Yes. Other than that, if you don't like my show, puta la verga. ¿Cómo se dice?
Ah, burro.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So, other than that, thank you all my subscribers, my followers, everybody who's following me, commenting, and all that shit. I see the live chat going crazy. Oh, you know what I wanna give a shout out to? Daza, my homegirl Daza. She actually sent me her #1 magazine. She only had 2 left. She gave me one. She autographed it. Daza, much love, much respect. You're my first video. I'm Not Your Puppet. That was actually your first video as well. And she went on tour with me. So she sent me her magazine. She autographed it from Orly's. And I got it hanged up. I'm going to put it on my story. So other than that, listen, have a blessed night. We'll talk tomorrow. No, Sunday. We'll talk Sunday. Freaky Tales. Yes. Freaky Tales Friday. And I'll see you Sunday. I'm about to go inside and eat some spread. So have a blessed night. My brother, you have a blessed night. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
We out of here.
We out.
De la verga, culero.